Today was an interesting day. A couple of days. Yesterday, I got called a little bitch in a private text, and I have to admit, I was a little surprised by that. But no hard feelings. Maybe I was being a little bitch and didn't even know it. It happens sometimes, right? It is possible that you could be being a little bitch and just not even know. So I am still working on my blennies, which are, again, creatures that have no head, like all of their facial features are actually in their torso. And I was out in the garage looking around for buildings, which I found. And I found this box full of 3D printed parts for Space Marines. And one of the things I know I 3D printed a shit ton of are the Turges, if that's how it's even pronounced, which are the Roman battle skirts that hang down the front. Well, these blennies, the way they're designed, they got no genitals or anything like that, right? And I'm not going to mold a bunch of penises on a bunch of weird alien creatures, but I will throw some skirts on them so that, we can imagine our Saturnian blennies might actually, you know, have something under there. Why? I don't know. Maybe I'm a weirdo. They're species of humans from Greek mythology that apparently in Hyperborea live on Saturn. So I kind of feel like they should probably have a means of reproduction. And if you read Doorway to Saturn, they obviously do. So it occurs to me that, yes, we need to put some underwear on these bastards. Oh, man. I've, man, freaking hot out in that garage. Plus, working, moving shit around, throwing boxes like I'm a UPS driver. Man, I love my UPS drivers. Kind of realized I made a mistake last Saturday, and I'm not going to make that mistake this Saturday. And that mistake is when I did the streets for the battles, all the streets were basically 10 feet wide. And even though it means I'm going to have to do some remapping and resettling of things, I've decided, nah, I'm going to double. I'm going to double the size of those streets, right? Because I want there to be room to maneuver around. I want during combats, which hopefully, the game doesn't just evolve into nothing but combats, but if it does, I want the players to feel like they can actually move around and do things, and it's not just a slugfest in the middle of a 10-foot wide area, because that does not strike me as a whole lot of fun. There's so many things in here, it's crazy. Like, how do I have so many AK-47s? It's like, what was I even doing? And it looks like they're done up to be put into the hands of Imperial Guardsmen. So possibly I had it in my mind to equip a unit of Imperial Guardsmen with AK-47s instead of las guns. Not 100% sure why you would even do that, but hey, you know. All right. Okay. Well, I've got a couple of people watching. I know my brother ain't one. He was out at Shoney's with the stepson. He probably went home and went right to bed. If I know him. Actually, if I know me, because I do the same thing. I go out and eat a big meal as soon as I get home. I'm like, bleh. So pretty much, I do absolutely love these blennies a lot. I think they are just amazing, right? But I just want to decorate them up a little bit more, you know? Like, throw a little bit more like bags and skulls and, you know, make them look like they've been around the block a little bit. They've lived a life, you know? They're not just buck naked critters roaming about trying to find somebody to have sex with the whomever they've picked to become the national mother that particular, you know, cycle. And then the fact that there could be some of them on Hyperborea itself kind of leads one to wonder what exactly they are doing on Hyperborea. Like shouldn't your punk asses be on Mars? One thing I should have told the lady who made these for me is I should have told her to do 10 of them one way and then reverse the sculpt for the other 10.
Howdy, Mr. James.
What is up, Tyler?
Not much. Unwinding.
You're in London.
No, I said unwinding.
Oh, I was going to say, which London?
No, London doesn't sound like much fun.
Well, I mean, London, Kentucky
Well, okay. All right. What's
is
in
not
London,
much
Kentucky?
fun.
I've never been.
London, Kentucky is right off of 65. It's what we in Kentucky call a big town, which means you Atlanta boys would laugh and be like, ah, look at this one horse piece of shit town. But, you know, or you people from the Atlanta area, let me correct before you correct me. I'll
Go.
correct myself.
Mhm.
I mean, you know, it's got about the same population as like Jackson, but we
the
think it's a big city. So,
the only people who like Atlanta and don't enjoy getting out of Atlanta are people who are not from Georgia. It's people move into Atlanta and love it, but no, people from Georgia can't wait to get rid of it, get out. So anywhere else is kind of cool.
you know, I think that's true of about everywhere. City wise, you know, it's like I had so many friends that I grew up with here in this area when I was older and I moved down here. And they all just could not wait to leave Orlando to go to Gatlinburg or Miami or wherever the hell they wanted to go. And of course, I couldn't wait to leave this area to just go back to Kentucky, which that's one thing I've talked about at length. People from Kentucky never seen hillbillies, not people from Louisville or Lexington,
Yeah.
but the actual hillbillies that live way up in the mountains. They never seem to ever want to leave.
Oh, you got
You know,
everything you need.
they're always pretty happy being right there. I mean, let's be honest. I only left for economic reasons. George, I never see you anymore, George. Hurt my feelings, brother. Not really, but hey, I'm happy to see you. So that thing I sent you, it went through like 6 hands before it got to you.
Much appreciated.
Well, first I offered it to my wife, and she's like, "Do you have it on your computer?" And I'm like, "Yes." And she's like, "And we have the book." And I'm like, "Obviously." And she's like, "Then why do I need it?" And I'm like, "Yeah." You know what I mean? And then she said, "Give it to Haas, Hungar." So I call Hungar and I'm like, "Hey, Hungar, do you want this thing?" And he's like, "No." And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "I'm never going to play that game. You know it. I know it." And I'm like, "Probably true. Probably true. But, So actually, it went through 2 hands because Hungar was like, "Give it to Cold Iron." And I'm like, "Well, why would I want to give it to Cold Iron?" And he's like, "Well, Cold Iron does a shit ton of stuff for us. So,
Oh, look at Hungar thinking of me. What a guy.
he was. He's like, Cold Iron always got you back. He's always making funny memes. He's like, so, I mean, it didn't cost you anything. It's free. So just give it to him. And I'm just like, hard to actually argue against that point.
Especially since I messaged you asking about the system. I read a bit about it and I've never actually played it. And I was be like, well, how does the system, does it feel okay? And you're like, here, dude,
That
I had
was
just
kind
woke
of
up too. I thought
that
I was like, what? Ask about the system, free PDF? What the hell?
that was kind of, I guess you could say, the Lord works in mysterious ways. Because I clicked on your name and it was like, so what's up with this shit? And then I was clicking on your name to literally just send you to go.
What, really?
Yeah. Because I'd already talked to everyone else and they'd all basically universally agreed, just give it to you. And I was
Wow.
like,
Okay,
okay.
that's a little uncanny.
Well, I mean, like I said, God is good. So
Wow. I
for
mean,
whatever reason, he
I'd been
decided
making
you
some
needed that game.
I'd been dabbling with some Arkham horror stuff too. It's actually kind of difficult because I actually had to screenshot it, then rip it because it wouldn't let me alter it.
Huh.
Yeah, any image with the Arkham horror type thing wouldn't pass a filter. So I
Well,
had to
from
kind
what
of
I heard, you should have been able to just go to Drive Through RPG and type that in and get it for free.
I was talking about the memes. I got the PDF downloaded no problem. Like that was seamless.
The thing you will find with the PDF that I found is it's kind of like what you said. It's like Call of Cthulhu, except like way easier. It's like you can do all the same goofy shit and fight all the same goofy monsters, but the way the game works is really easy and it puts a lot more power in the hands of the player in a way
Yeah.
because when you read through it, you'll see how you have your skills and they're like number plus. And then you've got the area that you mark, and that's your die pool, right? You get that amount of dice. I think it's 6, right?
Mhm.
So when you do a complex action, which is just an action that requires you to roll dice, you get to pick how many dice you're going to roll. And as long as one of them comes up equal or greater than your target number, you succeed. So you actually control your own odds of something happening or not. I really kind of dig that.
What are the pros and cons of like are the dice finite, so to
Yes,
speak?
they are. You
Okay.
only get X amount of dice per your round. They refresh at the beginning of the player's round.
Okay.
However, if you take damage, whether it's mental or physical damage, then you lose
Oh.
dice.
Oh, it subtracts dice from your pool. Oh my god.
Right.
Okay.
So a
All
good
right.
example is ye old Colt 45, right? Everyone's
Mhm.
favorite 1911 Colt 45, right? That does 2 damage. If it hits you and you don't dodge it and you just have to take that shit, well, now you're looking at losing 2 dice from your die pool. Just sorry about your luck. Now you have 4 dice. If you lose all of your die, if it's from physical damage, then you are wounded and you are basically effed until somebody gives you medical treatment. However, because this is a Cthulhu game, you can also lose dice from just surely having the shit scared out of you.
That'll do it.
So there is that. And another thing is certain actions require dice, but you don't even roll them. So let's say you want to walk. That costs a die. If you
Just
want to
spent.
run, that costs 2 dice. Right. So there's actions where you just have to pay dice to do them. And then there's actions where you have to roll die versus target numbers. And then on top of that, actually, there is no and then. No and then. No and then.
No, and then.
That's basically it. The only other complication is, hey, Satya, how you doing, my Finnish brother? There's knacks. So if your character actually survives a mission, which can happen, this game's a lot less deadly than Call of Cthulhu. You can choose to lower skills, and of course, lowering skills makes it easier for you to get successes. Or you can buy knacks, and the knacks can like give you specific bonuses versus specific things you might want to do. So you could get a knack called Two Fisted, right? And it'll allow you to shoot with a pistol in each hand. You could get a sniper knack that makes it easier for you to shoot things at long range. You could get like an investigation knack that makes it where you get a bonus whenever you're trying to, sort out whatever the hell is going on. And then you've got another resource that's dice called Insight. And you start with only 1 die of insight, but you can have up to 2 to start. Playing Witcher 1, nice, nice. That's kind of basically it, really.
Wow.
And the
That
rest
is
of it is
that is a
just role playing.
departure. That is definitely a departure from Call of Cthulhu traditionally, especially the system basic role playing. Like it is basic, it is simple, but it is very crunchy, as you know. Like it is very involved with itself.
And that's kind of the thing I really liked about this game. Not that I think I'm going to play it anytime soon. And that was something I had to tell my players before they started losing their minds and
Well, that cuts into Hyperborea time.
bust out the freaking pitchforks, right? Oh, I told you, right? About what happened the other day. You're
What?
like,
Oh,
a lot of shit could have happened the other day, bro. Help me out, right?
yeah. When he joined the
Jeff Talanian actually
yeah,
joined in
I
the
was
chat.
listening to that one.
I was like, I'm not gonna lie. I was a little bit like Senpai noticed me. You
That was
know,
cool as shit though, man. That
I'm
was like
probably older than him too, but I was like, Senpai noticed me. What
no,
the
I mean you summed it up well, man. You were just like Hyperborea is the best game and I love it. Like that. It's like- and I
Yeah,
mean
I've been talking with people on like X lately. Oh, by the way, my old computer completely died.
oh no.
Well, the charger, I told you how the charger broke.
Uh,
I bought a new charger, stuck it in, plugged the charger in, smoke started coming out of the fucking
no,
keyboard.
God. No.
So I'm like, mother. The only
Yeah.
good news is everything that was on that one is on this one.
Okay, cool. I was going to ask if you had like an external hard drive or had it backed up or.
Right. So I didn't lose anything except, a $600 computer. I guess I can send it in to get repaired, but I'm half thinking that the repair's probably going to be more than a freaking computer. You know what I mean?
Just pluck the silver and gold out of them and let it rest.
Because it's like what happened is the power charger got to where it would not stay in the hole that you're supposed to plug it in, right?
Port was messed up.
Yeah, so the port was messed up. So I'm playing the game and I'm trying to hold the charger in. And then so I bought a new charger, the right charger too, and put that in, and the thing flipped the fuck out. Started smoking and carrying on, and I'm just like, well, that's enough of that,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna burn the house down. So I just unplugged it and set it down, and I don't know what I'll do with it. Maybe I'll send it in and be like, hey, somebody, you know, computer guy, fix this shit. But or maybe I'll save up a little bit again, cutting into my rifle fund. Save up a little bit and get another computer.
Well, I mean, you may change your mind about the rifle. You might see something else you want.
Well, I really, really want to get a Henry repeater lever action in 4075 government
Whoa,
or
man.
3030 government. 3030 government, I'm thinking. But yeah, that's a little over $900 brand new. So a lot cheaper than the Scar S1 that I've been dreaming about for like you know, like three and a half grand. Probably not happening. Like every time I save up enough money that I'm getting even close to 3.5 grand, something happens with the house or something, and then I'm like, well, there goes all my savings.
Yeah.
Being a grown up sucks sometimes.
Oh, I know. And I'm barely one.
Right. It's
I'm
like
just barely.
I'm over here and I'm doing things and I'm saving up money and then always, and it's like not that I would ever want to give up my house. I wouldn't. But owning a house is like being a slave to a house because there's always some bullshit happening that you got to be involved in.
Either that or if you let it go, you just lose equity.
Right. And then your wife bitches because she demands that everything be perfect in the house. Or maybe that's just me, but
Oh, what's a wife? What do those do?
God, depending on the one you get.
I don't even know how those work.
Well, avoid the goth ones.
Well, well, I
Okay,
mean,
look, you have to hear what I'm saying. I'm not saying avoid dating the goth ones. I'm saying avoid marrying the goth ones.
uh,
They're not going to look cute and all gothed out their whole lives. Eventually, you're going to be married to a lazy bitch that sits around and thinks you should do everything for her because she used to be a cute goth chick. It's like, nah,
nah.
nah. I don't want
Besides,
any
we
part
didn't
of
have
that.
any cute ones in Atlanta.
Oh, I know. Atlanta's got a pretty good scene.
Oh, it was fantastic. Growing up, teenage, early 20s, gosh, it was Skinny Puppy at least twice a year when they were
Right.
together and could get along. It was Bauhaus reunion tour twice, Thrill
Mhm.
Kill Cult, Leather Strip
Oh,
came through, Velvet Acid Christ came through.
See, Thrill Kill Cult is a wild band because there's only one album I like by them, but I love that album.
Oh man, what? Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
let
like
me
they
guess what it
only
is.
have
Let me
one
guess.
album I like, but oh my god, I love that album. Like every song on it, I'm just like,
Is it A Crime for All Seasons?
nope,
13 Above the Night.
nope,
Confessions of a Knife?
no.
Uh, let me think here. Gay, Black, and Married?
It is the one that is the least like Thrill Kill Cult.
What, their first one? Whatever that one was called? I thought that one was fantastic.
I don't think it was their first one. I think it was like much later. And I'll
I
just tell
forget the
you
name of their
because
first
that's my
one.
game. It was Hit and Run Holiday.
Oh, okay.
You remember how it was all like 60s kind of, they brought in the brass and it dana 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 na 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 na, but they kept the edgy lyrics from, Thrill Kill Cult.
Oh, that's what it was called. Is I see good spirits, I see bad spirits. I couldn't remember it.
And it's like the whole let's go and kick it to the street beat. Put the road under your wheels and burn, baby. Right? Kick it into outer space.
Good
Bye.
shows though. And I didn't
Then
have
you
a
had,
ride up there. I had to coerce my buddy who was very much not into that to go up there. And I was like, look, man, you might like them. You'll have fun. I'll pay your bar tab. It'll be cool.
right?
He went up there. And I mean, this guy is one of those, he's in the shit I could not stand. He social distortion, flogging Molly crap. I
Yeah.
could not abide. And
Yeah.
he saw some guy in a pink vinyl biker outfit. And he was just like, what the fuck is this shit?
And- well, I mean, if you're going to see Thrill Kill Call, expect some weird shit. I mean,
He didn't know any better. I got him to go to Revolting Cocks too. I told him I was like, Jello Biafra's in the band, and you like the gay ass Dead Kennedys, so he didn't like that show either.
uh,
He didn't have fun.
that's too bad.
I was like, I had a blast. I don't know what's wrong.
See, I'm such a normie because the favorite show I ever went to is like the most normie show of all time. It was David Lee Roth with Cinderella opening. What's
Well,
up,
that
big
sounds
man?
that sounds like fun.
It was. It was so like it was one of those shows where there was no pomposity to it. It was David Lee Roth singing just a gigolo and Cinderella just doing their thing in Lakeland. And they had like this gigantic, huge Confederate flag on the back of the stage. That was the background, and people were just having the best time ever. And it was like, yeah, there was no posery bullshit, No one was there trying to be like, look at me. That is one of the problems. It's always been a problem with being the goth scene. Is either you've got the posers or you've got the guys that are constantly trying to tell everyone what being a goth is. And I'm like, I'm not 100% sure because I always thought goth was like liking a certain kind of music.
It rolled out of London. Yeah, I mean, rather, I think it was between London and Manchester.
Right. It was like the post punk shit,
Post punk, exactly.
It's
And
like, oh, you like Ian Curtis. You're a fan of freaking what's his name from Bauhaus. I mean,
Peter Murphy.
yeah, Peter Murphy cuts like a knife, cuts you up. I mean, I love that song.
And old Peter.
You know the way it twists and
I gotta
turns.
tell you, his solo shows are night and day different from a Bauhaus show. Like he is, gosh,
I
people were making
seen
fun of
him.
his sweater.
I've
So,
seen him perform with Trent Reznor, and it was kind of crazy because Trent Reznor was doing the lead vocals for fucking Bella Lugosi's day, and Peter Murphy was just kind of backing him up, you know. So you got Trent Reznor doing the Bella's Day, you know, and all that shit. It was like, okay, this is cool. I dig it, you know, whatever. But I mean, also when Nine Inch Nails came out, I was a fanboy. You know,
the
I'm sorry, man.
can take or leave him, honestly.
You know, had like a whole all that shit come out. I was like, the other band that I was a super fanboy for a long time was Pantera, man. Still
Oh
am.
God. Oh my God. Unavoidable in Georgia.
Well, I mean, Southern rock, bro,
Yeah, unavoidable.
is like,
And
I
then
mean,
when Dimebag died, it was straight up parties incessantly, like eulogy farewell parties everywhere. Which it
yeah.
was sad. It wasn't my scene and everything, but I mean, I had friends who were like really diehard fans, and I felt bad for them. I was like, that's unfortunate.
You know what I love the most about Dimebag?
He made
That
all those
dude.
titty videos that Snoop Dogg bought from him.
No.
Okay.
Um, I loved this flying V guitar that was painted up like a Confederate flag that he would put on stage. Because you know, people up north are probably looking at that and being like, "What the hell is this shit?"
Oh well, they can get over it.
Yeah, they can get over it. He had that flying V done up with the Confederate flag and shit, and he'd be out there just.
No, they need to come down south and like look at some of the black bikers sometimes, and their heads will explode. Be like,
He had black bikers wearing Confederate flags
yeah,
on their fucking jackets and
they'll
shit.
just be like, bitch, I'm Southern. This is my flag. You know, it's like, all right.
That's that's what they don't understand. That Southern doesn't mean what they think it means. It's like to quote Inigo Montoya. That word you keep saying, I don't think it means what you think it means.
Exactly.
I mean, well, look at your homeboy from near your area, right? Andre 3000, right?
Hmm.
If you watch the video, Miss Jackson, when she
Also
rides by
unavoidable.
and he's standing out in the front yard and he waves at her, look at his belt buckle.
Yeah.
It's Confederate flag.
Well, it was a big boy from Outcast stood up and said, like, they were talking about their style and everything. He was just like, oh, you know, we make black music for white people. He's like, that's what we do.
Well, they're not wrong.
I was
I
like,
mean,
wow.
they're not wrong. I mean, I have to admit that the whole world was kind of my jam for a while.
And then when Speaker Box came out, oh
Oh
gosh.
my God.
Oh.
Roses really smell like doo doo. Yeah, that shit was pretty good.
I was during
Speaker
the
box, the
mall
love
days
below.
when malls were actually taking their last breath, but still cool.
Yeah, I remember that when I was like a teenager. Malls were actually awesome. You go to the mall, you get some Chick-fil-A or Chinese or something, you just kind of hang out, talk to whoever,
See
bullshit
what the
around,
see what the local drama was.
play video games. It was pretty good. So James oh what up? What is up with you, man? How you doing? I think Australian James, you missed it. Like after you left the Shadow and Show thing, Australian James and Bear got into a huge to do.
What?
And like at one point, I think Bear threatened to beat him up or something.
Oh God.
Yeah, and then Shadow, of course, looked like he wanted to cry.
Wait,
Because
wait a minute, wait a minute. When I left today, like early.
no, this would be 2 days ago.
Oh, okay.
Like Shadow was just like so disappointed looking. He was just like, "Oh my god!" And apparently, I was stirring it up, which, to be perfectly honest, yeah, that does sound like me. So I'm not gonna, be too offended about it.
What was
Uh,
it? What were they going at it about? Let me guess. Something pedantic that Bear was wanting to like.
Religion.
Oh, that'll do it. Yeah.
Shadow said something about religion. I said Shadow. The three kings that visited Christ were Zoroastrists.
Zoroastrian kind of, or belonged to just that Magi crew that was also
Right.
out of Greece too. And
So I was like, so there's a lot of commonality between the Zoroastrians and Christianity. It's even possible that maybe God, was talking to them and they just weren't getting it
well,
100%.
there was that huge coalescence when Persia took over, brought that in huge coalescence between the Jews and Zoroastrians.
Right.
So there was kind of not so much a swap of theology, but definitely a swap of application, like prayer style, and got more rabbinical all of a sudden.
Well, Bear got away and it went bad from there because, I guess Bear was trying to tell Shadow not to look down on other people's religions and I did actually Bear called Australian James a sued or no Australian James called Bear sued. I had no idea what a sued was.
I don't know either.
Apparently it's a pseudo intellectual.
Oh, oh, that'll do it.
So then Bear went off and Shadow was just sitting there like not knowing what to do.
Oh,
And it
damn.
was just like, wow, this got bad
Oh,
quick. And let me tell you, it got bad quick.
I imagine
I stayed out of it mostly.
mostly.
Yeah, mostly I stayed out of it. I was just like, nah, I'm not getting involved in all that bullshit. But
Oh, that sounds like a hoot. I wish I was there. I could have made a meme out of it.
dude, it went from 0 to 100 quick. It was like everything's happy, everyone's happy. We're threatening to punch people in the face. And the problem is, and I like Bear. Bear's okay.
I like Bear too, very much.
He's an okay guy. But one thing you don't do on the internet is you don't threaten to punch somebody on the internet, and you never say, if I was in the room with you, I'd punch you.
So I'm
Because
assuming
it
Shadow
always
did not
makes
save
you.
this VOD.
He ended the thing immediately.
Okay.
Hey, Crafting Gamer, how you doing, brother? So it's like the second you threaten to hit somebody or punch somebody on the internet over internet drama, you're always just going to be the guy that everybody makes fun of. And it goes down to a livestock issue that I've discussed a couple of times, which is called the goat theory, right?
Yeah.
If they get your goat, you're fucked. And by threatening violence on somebody, you have proven definitively that they got your goat. And you don't want that. You just don't want anyone
Uh,
to say, yeah, I got your fucking goat, because the
you
getting of
mad,
the
bro?
goat means, well, the getting of the goat is basically just like whatever to mean they got you.
Yep. It's
They
the
made you
classic you
pissed. You
mad, you're
lost your
mad.
fucking cool. You fucking said some stupid shit, and now there you are, right? And that's kind of what happened.
I mean, why was Bear like do you recall what was said that got Bear so irky? I mean,
Not really.
or
It
is it
was
just being called a sued? I mean, that is pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie.
no.
That's
Think
pretty
what
hilarious.
happened between you, me, and everyone else listening. I think what happened is that James, Australian James, decided to step in and defend Christianity because he felt
Well,
like Bear was being
a little
maybe a
too
little,
little too critical of it as he is wont to do.
and that's something I talked about with him later. Not Bear, but James L.
I mean, Bear should just like shrug it off. I shrugged off his nonsense the other day when he was like, "Did Paul write a letter to the Ephesians talking about blah blah blah?" And I was like, "Yeah, no. Moving on." I was like, "Granted, I was talking about buttholes. Granted,
I was there
however,
for the buttholes.
he didn't have to drag Paul. He didn't have to drag Saint Paul into this.
I was there about the buttholes. I was
Well,
like, look,
Shadow started it.
I,
Shadow absolutely started it.
I believe that. I believe that probably Shadow starts everything.
He planted a seed. I just nurtured the bush. That's all that happened.
Nurtured the bush.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say over here?
Well, he was hating on gizzards. He was like, "Dude, I tried gizzards. They taste like absolute ass, like just pure butt." And I was like, there's a time and a place for eating booty, man. I was like, we were all young once, and you're hot and heavy with a woman. If that's what she wants, that's what Mama gets. And it went from there. I was in a mood. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. See, I would definitely have to ask Father Nectaris.
Oh, here
I
we
would
go.
have to sit down with him in private and be like, what are the rules on eating ass within a marriage?
Probably it's your husband and wife. It's don't tell anybody because that's voyeurism by proxy, would be my guess.
But you get what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, I totally get you.
Because I don't know enough about the faith to make up opinions of my own. So
Pretty
I would
sure
be like,
it's,
I'd have to go to a priest and be like,
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just don't tell, don't talk about it. It's if you two consent to it and there's no other living thing involved, especially not an animal or another human being, you're good to go. But then, later the Roman Catholic Church was like, what if she's pregnant? The sacred condition discussion about all that. If she's pregnant, you shouldn't lay with her at all. And I don't know.
yeah, no, I don't know much about what the Roman Church teaches about that. I mean,
No.
she's pregnant. All right. She's really big. All right. Roll her over.
That's how some view it. It's just kind of like the child is the product of union, so why not have more union? You're not actively involving the. Now, even the Germanic cultures, though, did some of the sister wife stuff, but that was for just their understanding of that could be dangerous. They had seen probably a miscarriage or two in their time.
Yeah, but see, everything I've read and I've had, well, I didn't have them, but I put them there, a number of children. And everything the doctors told me was that sex during the pregnancy actually made the childbirth easier for the mother.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, come on, you're busting that shit out.
Uh,
You're keeping those muscles nice and
uh,
relaxed.
okay, all right. I mean,
From what I understand, sex during pregnancy is not a bad thing, and walking, believe it or not.
okay.
Like pregnant women should do a lot of walking.
Yeah, you got to keep them moving.
Right. And then everything's okay, right?
You see, the Romans had the right of way of that one too. They were big on pregnant women swimming.
Oh, I bet you that would be amazing for a pregnant woman. That works like so many muscles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there was that's what my mama did when she was carrying me. was she said she swam all the time, and I happened to read that one day as Romans were just huge about pregnant women get in the water, move around in the water. So, and it's probably just a practical thing of like you can't trip and fall in the water. Like you can paddle around, move.
Or combine that with depends where they were in Rome, right? Depending on where they are in Rome, they're surrounded by ocean.
Yeah.
So it's like take your asses down to the beach, and do some shit, right? Now my pops, not my pops, but my biological dad, he would tell me that Vietnamese women would literally crank a baby out right in a mud puddle, wipe it off, put it in her little satchel, and go right back to picking rice like it was nothing. Like, you know what I mean?
Good grief.
They'd just be like, oh, look, I had a baby. Cool. Go right back to working. Those ladies were tough, tough women. But the crafting gamer, I am working on blimmies. Today, I will show you what I am doing. And we're talking about weird shit because I always talk about weird shit with Tyler. But
I'm sorry.
no, it's absolutely fine. I'm putting turges on my blimmies. And a turgis is basically the battle skirt that the Romans wore. And then I'll put a belt around the blimmy that I make out of a rolled tube of green stuff. And then, depending on if I can find some skulls and pouches and various other things, I'll do them all up. Now, one of them, I'll show you this guy. Look at this guy. He's obviously going to have to be a boss or something. I actually took the armor off of a cataphractii and put it on his legs with like a little bitty shield, like a big belt buckle. Then I gave him a big ass sword and this shield here. And he's got some human heads hanging off his belt.
They look like really pissed off California raisins.
Well, have you ever read the story, The Doorway to Saturn?
No.
Well, then what you should do at some point at your leisure is go on YouTube and type in The Doorway to Saturn. And then you will understand what this is. But
they look like
it's two guys from Hyperborea who jump through a portal and end up in Saturn.
Okay.
Get involved in all sorts of wacky adventures. Now, this guy, I gave him a leather arm pouch. You can barely see it. And then I had an extra fur cloak. And I just cut the cloak down and put it on him as like, just a fur thing covering his genitals. He doesn't have any genitals. That is the issue.
You painted him like a flesh color. Ooh.
Oh, they're going to be flesh colored. They're humans. These guys are human. They're just humans that have been altered over the course of many, many years because of their reproductive system. See, what happens with the blimmy is once every whatever, they pick a national mother who is just gigantic beast of a female, right? And then they pick one or more men to have sex with the national mother. And then after they impregnate her, they kill those men and turn them into various ragouts and other things to feed the national mother. And then the children come out. And in theory, the children will look like the parents, right? And a big problem the Blimmy have is they're pretty upset that they lost their heads. So during the course of the book I told you should read, they capture Ibon and what's his name? He's a freaking Inquisitor of Yonde. And they want them to reproduce with the natural mother because they're hope with the national mother because they're hoping by doing so that next generation of children will be born with a head. Needless to say, because they don't think anyone would ever run from such a honor, uh, the Ibon and the Inquisitor haul fucking ass and do not sleep with the national mother. They're like, nah, fuck all this, and they haul ass. But in the role playing game Hyperborea, it is possible to either teleport or journey to in some way Saturn.
That's what I'm working on right now, actually. Finishing up one I started earlier.
And then there's some problems though. Like for one, all the water in Saturn or all the rivers in Saturn are actually made out of mercury. So finding water is an issue. But in the story, it explains how they figure it out. And there are deities that are very much like the Sagwa who live on Saturn, and they typically just do not give a F at all about humanity or anything. You know, they're basically just living their lives up there, doing their thing. And there's all kinds of other creatures, some that might kill you, some that may not. So, yeah, Saturn is its own like living world with its own, you know, systems and uh, ecology and all of that.
So, in essence, Hyperborea has its own variant of the Dreamlands.
Well, yeah, but that's not Saturn. In essence, I have ruled that the Dreamland is actually under Borea. If you go deep enough under Saturn, you actually end up in the Dreamlands. But if you didn't want to play it that way, you could just have the Dreamlands be what they are, You find the silver key and you go to the Dreamlands.
Or find one of the gateways hanging out.
Right,
I
right,
always liked how mundane those gateways were.
right.
Like, literally, it's one cemetery in one place in the woods in like old Lovecraftian town. Pick your poison. They put it everywhere. And it's lift the stone and descend into the stairs and follow the tunnel. It's a gateway.
Right.
You can go in and out of the Dreamlands.
Well, because you have to walk, what is it, like the 1,000 steps of subconscious or some shit. And
And there was another one that looked like an ordinary farm gate. And you just literally open the gate and step in, and it's just a field, but keep walking and end up in the Dreamlands.
right. And there are some dreamers that are like pro dreamers. They can enter and leave pretty much at whim. And like if you read the Dreamlands Chronicles, they talk about, I forget, is it Randolph Carter that they talk about, or is he the protagonist?
I don't remember.
But yeah, they talk about one of the other guys that's like super proficient at being in the Dreamlands and doing whatever. And then it turns out that there's other Dreamlands. So if your character were to go into the Dreamlands in Hyperborea, you would be in the Hyperborean Dreamlands, right? But if you went to Saturn and entered the Dreamlands, it would be a totally different Dreamlands with totally different everything, you know. And they talk about that in the Dreamlands Chronicles, right? About how each world has its own specific dreamlands. And some of them can be very dangerous.
I wish
I
they'd have.
blend some stuff from the Dreamlands with my game.
I can never get my players in there.
Well,
Anytime
no,
it would
like,
veer in there, they were always like, "No."
well, the thing is, like, the Cats of Ulthur are an actual thing. They're in Comarium, though.
Yeah,
And the little fairy creatures that the dreamer talks to when he's walking through the forest that give him the wine, but then, get into it with the cats later. Yeah, they're there too.
don't move around at night because moon beasts are a thing.
Well, yeah, the moon beasts actually used the men of Ling to buy chubby black men because apparently chubby black men are their favorite to eat.
And the great
So,
harlot on the beach, that one.
yeah, so there's the story, I forget the name of the city, where the black ships arrive and they're crewed by supposedly men who wear turbans and big shoes and puffy pants, right? The reason is because the men of Ling have horns and they have the tigigrade legs like a goat. So they hide that and they show up and they trade gemstones for black slaves. And the reason they do that is because that's what the moon beasts want to eat. However, the cats hate the moon beasts
Oh
and
yeah.
vice versa. So, there's some issues there. Like, for one, a man of Ling poisons, well, gets drunk actually, the main protagonist, but because he had been really nice to a kitten, the cats come and they rescue him.
Yeah, the Emperor's great something grand kitten. He left a saucer of cream for.
Right. So you know what I'm talking about there.
Yeah, and there was an animated thing online. I think I saw it around 2005 or six about he the Emperor presented himself to the man and was just looking at him, and dude reached out to try to pet the Emperor cat, and the Emperor let him do it. It was like, what the hell? And all the other cats were like, he just touched the Emperor. Like, what? Do we kill him? Like, and
Yeah.
supposedly the Emperor spared him for his good nature.
Right. Because the man was known to actually be very fond of cats. So, you know, and so that basically saved him, really. All right, let's lick the blade of my knife to make it a little damp because that makes it a lot easier when you're working with the green stuff. Now, some people would say, lick it, put it in a little bit of water. And I'm like, I could do that, but no,
Can't be bothered.
can't be bothered. Instead, I'll just lick it. I know where this knife's been, so
What a quote.
yeah. This is my family's type of knife. Started for very bad reasons and then become a tradition. This is the ever famous, most beloved
So you're a sod buster?
Case Double X Sidebuster.
I've got a mini sod buster. I do. Yep. The only thing that kept it from being perfect was I wish it was a backlog.
Yeah, it'd be nicer if it was a, you know, yeah,
If it had a backlock, that'd be like quintessential 10 out of 10 pocket knife. You'll never be disappointed with it.
right. Maybe somebody should write Case Double X and be like, hey man, You need to put a locking mechanism on that bad boy so that if I ever get into a stabbing contest with something, I don't cut my knuckles. You
You
know.
know, that's the only thing that keeps them from being just 10 out of 10.
See, now I'm looking because somewhere around here is my little one too. I have a
Yeah, I
pair.
got a little one.
There it is. Where I dropped it on the floor and let it lay there. But you know what? I knew where it was.
Yep, there it is.
So, and you are right. If this thing was a lock blade, it'd be way better. And all you'd need is just the little,
And then I guarantee you, though, if they put a backlock on that thing, it would compete with the Buck 110 for like most used knife.
like I said, this is like my family knife. This is like my brother's got it. I've got it. Everyone I know's. This is what we carry.
That's cool.
And it all comes from years and years and years ago when my uncle stabbed a guy a lot of times with one of those.
Well, okay, so apparently they're good for stabbing. Just
Yeah, yeah, they're pretty good. I mean, the guy didn't die, but he was really, really fat. So, I mean, probably you got what, a 3, 4 inch blade on there. No, nothing ever got anything serious. It was just
yeah,
holes and fat.
had some natural armor,
Yeah, he had that natural armor, that
a
layered blubber.
little bit of damage reduction.
I don't feel bad for him because he invited my uncles to a party specifically to jump them.
Uh,
So he acted like he was their friend, but then the plan was for these rednecks to jump him, and it didn't work out because these Osceola County rednecks were used to dealing with Osceola County rednecks. They weren't used to dealing with Eastern Kentucky hillbillies. So when they invited them and started acting away, and shit hit the fan, it hit the fan big time. You know what I mean? And sadly enough, this is a true story. My uncles were kicked out of Florida.
Whoa, banished?
The judge told them they had to leave and couldn't come back until they were older, 19 or older.
Mm,
Because they did all the stabbing when they were like 16.
okay. I was going to say, you got to really pull a stunt to get, banishment laws involved.
Yep. They were told they had to go home and could not come back to Florida until they were 19 or older. And they did. And yeah, and then they eventually came back. So good times. Keep putting these purges on these guys, doing them up, maybe putting a little armor on some of them, like I said, getting some freaking stuff on their belts, make them look like.
I don't think I would be able to resist the temptation to paint them like a really dark purple, to paint them up like California prunes.
Yeah,
I have a real bad problem with that. I cannot really paint stuff seriously.
I mean, let's be honest. If you painted them up like the California raisins, it would be kind of hilarious. Especially if when you threw them on the table, you just threw four on and just started singing.
Mm,
I heard it through the grapevine.
I could not resist.
Longer would you be mine, honey, honey, yeah.
So
That's
I
one of my
got
favorite bands to watch people react to. You know, CCR.
I always thought that was weird. Bear is wearing a Leonard Skinner shirt.
Is it?
Like, I've seen him in a Leonard Skinner shirt like 4 or 5 times, and I always wanted to ask him about it. Be like, bro, you crack a lot of Southern jokes, man. Well, what's up with Skinner? Like, well, what's that?
Maybe just like Skinner. I mean, I got to be honest with you. If he does like Skinner, that just elevates him in my esteem.
Yeah, I always forgot to ask him about it. We were always talking about something else, but no, I've seen him several times.
Wearing a Skinner shirt, that just
Uh huh.
means he's got good taste. I mean, a lot of people like to think about, Sweet Home Alabama and stuff. And don't get me wrong, those are amazing songs, and I love them. I absolutely love them. But they seem to forget about Simple Man, the Ballad of Curtis Lowe,
Oh God.
Tuesday's Gone. I
Oh.
mean, it's like, and you always hear these idiots play some Skinner, man. What up, Bo Pates? And it's like, okay, it would be so hilarious if somebody was up there and somebody yelled, "Play some Skinner, man," and the dude just kicked off with Curtis Lowe. You know what I'm saying? And another thing people don't seem to understand is he mentions the Swampers in a couple songs. Like the Swampers, they pick a song. Yes, they do. You know what I mean? Well, the Swampers were all black musicians that Leonard Skinner was helping to try and get their foot in the door with the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyone who's thinking Leonard Skinner was a bunch of, you know, well, okay, they were a bunch of good old boys, but they weren't necessarily opposed to a black blues man, playing
Oh
some
yeah,
guitar and shit.
for
You know what
sure.
I'm saying? They liked it. They wrote
Same.
a whole song about it. Guy talked about how his mom used to whip his ass every time he went to hang out with Curtis Lowe, and he did it anyway because Curtis Lowe was the finest picker to ever play the blues. You know. Now, for me, the song that always gets me by Skinner is "Simple Man." You know, I love that song. That is a song you could live by. You know the one I'm talking about?
I think so.
Yeah, it starts out with "My mama told me when I was young, come sit beside me, my only son."
I
Right?
mean, yeah,
And
a
then
lot of them.
she basically gives him like these rules for life. And the end is, and be a simple kind of
See, a lot of
man.
them I had to try to tune out, man, during my adolescence because it was either Skinner all the time or Allman Brothers all the time. Living in
Oh,
Georgia.
dude, I love Allman Brothers too. Don't get me
Oh
wrong.
my God, dude, I've grown up in it. Like, I don't know if I ever told you how deeply associated our family is with that crap.
You've never told me, but you
I mean,
know,
I'm just down the road from Rose Hill Cemetery. Mama Louise, I've met her and ate her food about a dozen times.
look at
Oh
you,
gosh.
lucky.
See, that's what everybody said. Everybody said that to me. They were just like, dude, you don't understand. And I'm like, I had to go with my mom to Macon to see Greg Allman and everything, one of his shows up there. And just wasn't my thing, man.
See, for me growing up, Florida, it was Skinnerd, obviously, because they're the Florida Alabama line band. I must have heard "Give Me Three Steps" a million times before I was even 15 years old.
It's
And
Saturday night special, whatever.
yeah, isn't that Bob Seger?
I think so, but maybe Skinner covered it because that's all I heard. Like whether they wrote it or was covering it, I don't know. But I had to hear it so incessantly, and I was like, "Yes, I've heard. It's about a pistol. I get it now. Okay,
It might be Skinner,
I'm not
honestly,
sure. I spent my time trying to dodge it, man.
but nah. See, for me, Skinnerd was the band they played uh at the parties. You know what I mean? So when you went to a party down here, when I was down here, and you went to a party, and I went to a few Outlaws parties because I knew some people, and you would hear all of the Skinner stuff, but especially you were guaranteed to always hear "Give Me Three Steps." That was a guarantee. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Because the biker club, which is what the Outlaws are, they're a biker club, and they would do these whole freaking things where they would have like giant bonfires and invite
All
everybody.
right, I could get down with that because where there's bikers, there's ZZ Top, and I can get down with ZZ Top
Right. And it would
very
be
easily.
that way. They would have like a massive sound system, a bonfire that was made literally out of like telephone poles. When that party kicked off, it was going till like the next day. You know what I mean? And there would be, I mean, unfortunately, depending on your view, every kind of illicit thing you can think of, right? Some of those outlaws were like one percenters. You know what I'm saying? So they
Yeah.
were real deal dudes, some of them. Not that they messed with me. My aunt knew them, probably banged them all. I don't know. But I was just her nephew, and they were all like super cool with me. You know, I'd roll in and be like 16-year-old me at the freaking Outlaws biker club party, having a good time, running around with any other kids that were there, and yeah, it was all right. You know, I didn't know any better, so and like I was saying, man, you were gonna hear "Give Me Three Steps" for sure. You were gonna hear "Sharp Dressed Man." Count on it.
Mm,
You know the playlist. You
yeah.
already know. You know ZZ Top, because every girl's crazy about a sharp dressed man.
You're gonna
Like
hear
all
Iggy
of that
Pop's
kind of
cover.
biker rock. You know. Oh, who else? Tyler, did
Oh,
I
is it,
listen to forever?
what's that?
You want to take a wild guess?
All right. I mean, along the
Florida,
same lines,
Florida bikers pick the group.
Florida bikers. Now, is this artist or artists from
Band,
Florida? It's a
band
band. Is the
from the
band from?
South. Oh my God.
Hmm,
Two words
Do
in the name.
Doobie Brothers?
No.
Okay.
Molly Hatchet.
Oh God. All right. Yeah. The classic Frank Frazetta cover.
Oh yeah, Death Dealer on his horse.
Yeah.
Appetite for Destruction or whatever. Whatever it was. I'm
Y-
rolling down the street. Yeah.
Georgia bikers. I heard a lot of Jethro Tull. I mean, a lot.
Well, the thing with Jethro Tull is if you got like the double album Thick as a Brick, you can put that shit on and walk away. And it'll play for like 5 hours. It's like, you know, and it's so fucking weird, you know. Sitting by the park bench, eyeing little girls with bad intent. It's like, wait,
Yeah.
what? Hey, Aqualon. And then busts out into a fucking flute solo in the middle of nowhere. Just like,
I mean, I Jethro Tull and the Moody Blues.
oh, God.
Like bunch of bikers singing "Nights in White Satin." I was just like, okay, I'm down with this.
See,
It's
the
like,
only bikers I knew down here, and knew by new I mean like secondhand through my aunt, We're the Outlaws, and it was all just fucking Molly Hatchet and Southern hard rock. Dare I even say metal? Not really, but borderline hard rock metal.
Yeah.
So it was nothing like that, and it was just like you show up, they're going to do a bunch of coke, and then you're going to listen to a bunch of Florida bands. Oh yeah, you're going to hear Tom Petty. Don't even worry about that shit. There will be Tom Petty. Not that I'm complaining. I absolutely love Tom Petty.
Oh, oh,
Shut up.
I didn't say nothing. I didn't do nothing. Just it's kind of hard to palate that one, man. Ooh.
You got lucky, babe, when I found you. Down, down, down. You know what I love about Tom Petty? He never should have been famous. He did it in spite of motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's like you look at him, he kind of looks like an ugly iguana. His voice is like not what you would expect for somebody who's going to do like pop music. He's just kind of this weird looking guy.
Yeah, he kind of looks like he has a thyroid problem.
Yeah, he's just a weird looking fucking guy. And
you know what else he did? He gave me diarrhea when I had to hear his voice because, God, I can't take Tom Petty.
See, he gave you diarrhea. Well, that's what you deserved.
Oh, wow.
Wow. I know I said that.
I mean, there's things you don't like, man. It's just, it's what you're subjected to, if you have to hear it.
What don't I like?
I'm sure there's things you don't like.
I'm trying to think of something I don't like.
Like music-wise, I'm sure there's stuff you just can't stand that sucks.
Pretty much everything after the 90s, with a few hits and misses here and there. Yeah, pretty much. It's like it goes along with that theory I've told you about, homie, where I feel like creation died at some point. And
yeah.
No, it's just a bunch of vultures feeding off the shit that came before them.
Well, I'll say this. I'll take Tom Petty all day, every day over anything Bob Dylan.
The only thing I like Bob Dylan in is the Traveling Wilburys with Tom Petty.
I can't stand Bob Dylan. God.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I love the song It's All Right, or Further On Down the Line, which is a song they sing as kind of a goodbye to Roy Orbison. And in the video, they're on the train, and the chair Roy Orbison always sat in is there, but his guitar is in it because,
Yeah.
And they're just singing, it's all right. Baby, it's all right with me. Yeah, it's all right. It's kind of an uplifting song in a way, because they're just saying shit happens. People die, but it's all right. Yeah. Jethro Tull had a unique appeal. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jethro Tull, man. Sometimes I will, when I'm on YouTube, just freaking type in a Jethro Tull live concert and just watch that maniac go. And I mean, Jethro Tull's the name of the band, not anyone actually in it.
Yeah, Ian Anderson, I think is his name.
You see that dude prancing around the stage like a fucking fairy.
Yeah, he's
like he's some kind of mythological creature. Just
he's strange
with his freaking flute and I think my favorite Jethro Tull song is Bongo in the Jungle. I like that song. And it has like the craziest there was a line, and as a little kid that line stuck. It's the one where he's like The river is full of crocodiles nasty, and he who made kittens put snakes in the grass. He's a lover of life, but a player of something. And it's like, just talking about nature, like, don't feel like you're safe. God made kittens, but he put the snakes in the grass too. So, and let's bongo in the jungle. Yeah, it's all right with me. I'm a tiger when I want love. I'm a snake if we disagree. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, that is just such a fucking banger of a song. And you kind of got to ask yourself, what was that dude, whoever wrote it, even thinking when he wrote that? You know?
I think about that every time I listen to War, like all day music, stuff like that. I'm like, you guys, did you ever have a good day? Did you ever have one that says like today was a good day? I'll write a song about it. No, no.
Well, I mean, Ice Cube wrote a song about it.
And that the internet blew up when somebody calculated exactly what Ice Cube's good day was.
Well, I mean, he rode around. No one tried to jack him. The cops didn't pull him over. No one pissed him off, so they had to pull out his AK. He banged some chick he'd been trying to bang since high school.
It was the lyric where he said he saw the Goodyear blimp in the air, and it was a day where he said a sports team won. And so people took those clues and said on this day, the team he was talking about won and the Goodyear blimp was there. This is Ice Cube's best day.
Oh, they figured out exactly
Yeah,
what day was his best day.
exactly the date that he was rapping about.
He went down to the park to hang with his bros. He kicked their asses at basketball. He's just getting triple doubles. And then he hung out with Dre for a second because when he talks about the car pulling up, straight kilo G.
Didn't
That was
have to use his AK.
and he never had to use his AK because today was a good day. It was like, okay. I mean,
Oh, is
doesn't
that what
change
it
the
is? The
fact that
Lakers beat the Supersonics?
yeah, the Lakers
Okay.
beat the Supersonics. Now, does it change the fact that deep down inside, I think NWA was a CIA op? No. I'm pretty sure they were a CIA op meant to get a bunch of black men thrown into prison for behaving like fools. But some of their music was pretty good. I used to like rap before all it turned into was like advertisements for shit I don't want nor could ever afford. But when it turned into adverts for like hookers and Bentleys, I kind of was like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, I went to one actual rap show one time. It was Lil Wayne and Pastor Troy in Macon, Georgia.
Yeah.
And my cousin wanted to go, and he was just like, come on, man, it'll be fun. And I'm like, no, it won't. We're going to die. And we were flecks of salt in the pepper shaker. We were the only two white guys there. And I noticed nobody looked at me. I moved around like a ghost. Literally,
those
nobody looked at me.
brothers, those brothers probably was thinking to themselves, these two white boys walked in here. They just walking around like whatever. They are not the guys to be fucked with.
It was a place called Club Monies that is now defunct, and you can take a guess as to why.
It's kind of like Bill Burr said, if a gang of dudes walks up to you and there's like 9 black dudes and the one white dude, the white dude's the one you got to worry about.
Oh no, we were chicken shit pussies, dude. Like we would have died if they'd have just like scraped a bar stool against the floor. Like
I
we
understand that, but they didn't know that.
no. And what spooked me was that
They were
Pastor Joy
thinking,
did the Robert Johnson thing where he stared at the corner while Little Wayne was doing his thing. He sat on a stool in the corner with his hood up. And I was like, this is getting creepy. I was like, he's doing the Robert Johnson thing where he sold his soul and then would stare at the corner before he played. I was like, this is
all those brothers knew is there was two white dudes wandering about amongst them, showing no fear, and they're like, okay, on the off chance that these are not the guys to be effed with, let's just let this shit ride. You know,
I
because you
was
know they think about it too when they're out on the street doing their shit, and all of a sudden they see some freaking pale ass ghost just come out of the shadows. They're like, what the fuck, like, uh, they got to do that math in their head, like, do I really want to mess with this guy? Because he's out here in the middle of Atlanta in a bad neighborhood at 3 a.m.
Macon. It was middle of Macon in
Right.
July, and I walked in there wearing a Sisters of Mercy shirt, dude. Like I was out of place.
Yeah, them brothers is looking at you like, what are the odds this guy's crazy? You know what I'm
How?
saying?
Yeah,
They're
I
like,
went.
this guy ain't right. He just rolled all up in our shit like he owned the place.
Well, my cousin had a great time. He was all about Little Wayne. I'm like, all right, dude.
Well, Lil Wayne had his minute. I'm not going to say he didn't. I
No
mean,
trouble, no drama, which I was expecting. Everybody just kind of partied, and I chain smoked at the bar.
dude, I've never had any problem when I've been to any shows like that.
Yeah.
It's just how you carry yourself, like back in the day when I would go to like one of those kind of shows, I'd be rolling in Doc Martens, leather jacket, all in black, freaking LeBray Pierce looking like a freak. And then bastards are like, yeah, no. You know what I mean? It's just like, nah, not this guy. I mean, because why? It's like, yeah, they could all jump on me and beat my ass,
I mean, we
but
never we
it
never
was
had
going to
like
be a
tension
lot
like that.
harder for them.
We never had like race tension around here. Everybody up north claims like Georgia. It's like no, we've never fucking had that. What the problem is you have to watch when they fight amongst themselves.
Nah,
Is
see,
if
Florida was nothing but race tension starting in about 84 until last week. I hate to say it, but when rap very first come out, it was not well received down here, right? By everyone. And it was also about that time when, for some reason, the brothers started wearing those little African medallions
oh
and started getting all like super Afrocentric. And
my brothers.
and that led to a lot of strife. And for a while there, I mean, it was like after school, it was like straight up war. You know what I mean? See, I was lucky because there was a couple of black chicks that really, really liked me. I
Cracker
mean, I
attackers.
never dated them, which now I kind of wish maybe I had, but they really liked me, right? So, like, they would tell the other guys not to mess with me, right? But then after I hooked up with my bro, Marcus, um, we just become the nightmares for those guys. Like we would walk around, and if we caught them out after school trying to bully somebody, we just stomp the fuck out of them, right?
Oh, caught him slipping. Caught him slipping.
and let them know, right? And then that's when I spent about a year, got in trouble in high school for this, got kicked out of a couple of different high school get-togethers, in the auditorium. But that's when I started wearing nothing but like white t-shirts, black pants, and my docs. And now, some people would be like, "Well, were you a white supremacist?" And I'd be like, "No, my brother is banging a black chick." But
No,
what
the
I
boots
was
and
is,
braces was only in England.
yeah, I didn't wear the braces,
Yeah, that was only in England. I mean, you
and I
had a
didn't
couple of
wear the
posers
laces
here, but
either. I didn't wear laces or anything. Um, and the boots were specifically to kick people. But I did let everyone know that I was not the white boy to be after, right? And I had my bros, and I could count on them all the time, right? So, there were a few rough little run ins here and there, but overall it worked out. After a couple of people caught ass whippings, uh, the rest of the tribe realized this ain't the guy. You know what I'm saying? And
it's
after that, I had peace and got along with everybody. But it was just a matter of letting people know their limits. I hate to say it, but that's what it was. It's just a matter of letting
uh,
people know that there are limitations. There are things you can do and things you cannot do.
I mercifully never had to deal with that. Everybody liked me, even if I hated them. They liked me for some reason.
Oh, I can see why though. You're kind of a fun kind of guy.
Well, thank you, Mister James.
Well,
Thank
you
you.
are. You're a fun guy.
I'm a mushroom.
See, I was not a fun guy. I was a nerd and little,
Oh, I was a nerd and I was little. I
overly
mean, I was
serious
fat.
about
I was
everything.
grotesquely fat. So, but there's that.
See, I was grotesquely thin,
No,
and
I was a
I always
big.
wore black because I was doing that whole goth thing.
Yeah, but goth is fun. It's post punk is upbeat, happy music, man. You can't be sad to Susie. That's dance music. That's get happy music.
See, my favorite post-punk band, honestly, was Tubeway Army. Gary
D-
Newman and the Tubeway Army.
Okay, so you had a little bit of angst. Yeah, you had a little. Okay,
And I think my favorite song by Tubeway Army was probably Down in the Park.
which is not a happy song.
Yeah, down, down, down. Right.
The Foo
Down,
Fighters did a
down, baby.
magnificent cover of that.
Huh?
The Foo Fighters did a magnificent cover of that on the X Files soundtrack.
Yeah, Manson did a cover of that on the Lunchbox album.
Oh God, I had to hear that one a whole bunch. Ex girlfriend.
Oh man.
Whoa, God.
I will say this though. Lunchbox was pretty fucking banging though.
The Brown Bag remix was okay. That's the one I could tolerate.
I mean, next motherfucker's gonna get my medal. You know what I mean?
Was supposed to go see Manson, and I ended up ditching it to go see KMFDM a second time.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll bring you. Yeah. Big bully trying to stick your finger in my chest. Try to tell me you're the best. But good goddamn cause I got my lunchbox and I'm armed real well.
Yeah.
My lunchbox and I'm armed
He
real.
dug it. She sure as shit liked it. I was like, I know you got other CDs, sweetheart. I was like, I know you got other stuff.
Right? Dude, I dated this kind of fine goth chick. And every night when we went to bed, you know what CD she put in?
Please don't say Tool.
Vulgar Display of Violence.
Vulgar Display of Power, the
Yeah,
Pantera.
Pantera every
Oh,
night.
ooh, that one was special, wasn't she?
Oh, yeah. Like I'd wake up in the middle of the night and she'd be chanting. and I'd be like looking around like, where's my cross at? Okay, okay,
Yeah,
that,
it's
yeah.
time to just put the boots on, run out in your boxer shorts, just get going.
And this love, I'd be dead ass asleep, and all of a sudden I'd hear like, "You take this fist." I'd wake up and be like, "What?" Looking around, and like she's just laying there. I mean, just being hot as fuck, right? So I'd be like, you know how it is. The hotter they are, the more rope you give them. So I'd put up with it, but god damn, man, it sucked. And on the odd chance it wasn't vulgar display of power, it was fucking downward spiral. Oh god.
I'd have probably lit out on that one. I can only take so much Trent.
And I'm just sitting here thinking, why can't we put on like some Stilly Dan,
Steely Dan.
Maybe a little Doobie Brothers, right? Little Michael McDonald, right? Just a little bit of I keep forgetting what
About
I
some
did
Brian Ferry and get
yesterday.
weird.
Eh, you know what I'm saying, though. I mean,
Yeah.
for the love of God, some Parliament Funkadelic would work. Just
It
anything,
was the
right?
it was
But
the gals that were into listening to Deftones that I could never get. They had a female cult, if you recall.
oh yeah.
Gosh, God, those women were so sexy back then. They weren't having me though. I'll tell you that.
Well, the worst of it too is the freaking the Resner fanatics.
Those I couldn't stand. God,
Ugh.
it's like, wouldn't you rather listen to Skinny Puppy? You know, the band that he copied incessantly and inspired him to leave Slam Bamboo and start making this music.
No, no, you don't understand. It's Trent Reznor.
It's whatever.
You know how many times I had to hear some bitch tell me, Nine Inch Nails is Trent Reznor. Trent Reznor is Nine Inch Nails. I'd be
You
like,
know, credit where credit is due. The man has talent, but it's still just it's watery pseudo wannabe industrial music.
here's the thing. If you're dating a chick and it starts out with Trent Reznor, you're like, okay, fine, whatever. The second she busts out Tori Amos, it's time to go.
Holy shit! I was just fucking thinking about James. No, seriously, I just was about to say that the other side of her, the other half of her, is a Tori Amos fanatic.
And
Holy shit.
when you walk in and she's playing Cornflake Girl, it's time to get the fuck out of Dodge.
Dude, seriously, my ex-girlfriend, Nine Inch Nails obsessed, and then she was all this whimsical day trip Tori Amos. Oh my God. Wow, dude. It really is a thing, isn't it?
It really is a thing because here's the
Holy
thing with Tori
shit.
Amos. Whether it's because of like events that happen in her life, which boy I've had to hear about, pretty much she just hates men.
Yeah.
So when you're one time hot gothy chick that was into all the freaky shit starts getting deep into Tori Amos, just leave because it's going to end bad.
Absolutely. It is time to just beat.
Yeah,
Dude,
just get the
2010.
fuck out because she's
Holy
going to find
shit.
reasons to hate you. Like, because that's what Tori Amos does to young idiots,
She was always this flowy head wrap wearing, and the poor thing had like no feminine features. Like she was itty bitty, breastless, and just had this idea of how a relationship was supposed to be.
I heard she
And
banged Trent Reznor.
Tori Amos?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Uh,
heard that. I don't know if it's true, but I heard that.
I could see it. I could see that. Yeah.
And then the other one was later on, after you get out of the goth scene and you just start dating, your typical like chicks. If you run into a chick and she's a super fan of Poe,
Get out.
get
Get
out
out.
quick.
Poe, Plum, Imogen Heap, Vanessa Dow. Oh
Jenna
my God.
Tortures.
Oh, I've seen Jetta Tortures. Those are fun. Jenna Tortures is kind of fun. I saw Jenna Tortures open for Mortiz.
Yep.
That
There's
was
like
kind of
a
fun.
couple of bands, and if they're huge fans of those bands, run.
No, oh God, dude. What was that album that every girl Haunted? That album, every chick had that album and played it.
Johnny, angry Johnny.
Oh God, James, no,
Jezebel in hell.
no.
And it's just like,
Making my guts hurt, man. Giving me
right?
IBS.
Down by the water.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's just like, oh,
Dude, no angsty,
sorry.
angry day trip, winery, toe loop sandal bitch wearing fucking no, James. No.
Right?
Oh God. You took it to a bad place.
I've been to some bad places.
It's bad places, but you're not thinking about
If
that at the
she's a goth
time.
chick, she'd be down with Peg.
I've never had one wanting to do the peg thing.
Oh, me neither. All the goth chicks I ever dated were like super feminine.
Like kind of vanilla, honestly, when it came to that stuff.
I mean, they might be different nowadays. The goth chicks I dealt with were, early 90s.
It was always the chicks that played games. Like if they
Yeah.
played games too and we dated, they were down for whatever. They were like you like nasty stuff, but like goth chicks from the actual like either North Macon or Atlanta scene, they were normies. It was just get naked, have sex. Are you hungry? Like let's go eat. Normal relationship stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. They were like that in Orlando, really. I mean, they would dress the goth look, which obviously everyone likes. But when you talk to them and shit, they were like, most of them were like hardcore submissives,
Yeah,
you
total
know.
subs.
I mean, which was lucky for me because I was always such a, at the time, muscular, dominant guy. So I attracted them like flies, man. They just be all over the place, right?
Hmm.
But it was like, yeah, I never had any problem with them like that. This pagan thing, I don't think that's a goth thing. I think that's like a weird feminist, I've got a gender studies degree thing.
I think it's more the guys. I don't think women's want it so much as they a guy wants a woman to do it. In
And
which
you know what I
case,
call a guy like that? Kind of gay.
yeah, yeah, it's like it's one thing if she's giving you a pee pee kiss and some fingers go in the back door. That's one
Yeah,
thing.
that's still a little gay.
But the in and out
It's a little,
of that's gay. That's big gay.
but if you're gonna let some chick literally like sex up your booty, that is beyond a shadow of a doubt super gay.
I mean, if she's not wearing acrylic nails and it's just finger time, that's okay.
Hey, I was willing to give you the benefit of the doubt on that. Okay, I wasn't even talking about that. I'm talking about if you're gonna let your woman strap on,
No,
bend you over like a bitch,
no.
and go to town on you, you are legitimately gay. Sorry. There's something wrong with you where you feel like you want to be effed like a bitch.
Yeah, because if she's using her hands, you know, and she's blowing you, it's a woman. You're not anywhere else. If you're on all fours and it's a giant dong shaped dildo, like you're going somewhere else in your head here.
Right. Well, here's the situation. In the one hand, you're still the man, right?
Yeah,
You're still the man. You're in the masculine position. You're doing the thing. Great. In the other hand, you are 100% the bitch. I cannot deal with that. I don't give a shit. Nobody makes a bitch of me. I'd if I don't care. I mean, I love my wife dearly. She knows this. If she come walking out and been like, "I want to peg you," I'd be like, "Divorce immediately."
Whoa!
But
Not even a discussion. Just nope.
not even a fucking discussion. Get the fuck on with this shit. Do you know why? Because she had a discussion in her brain before she brought it to me.
Oh, that's a point.
So I ain't got to discuss shit with her. She already thought about it. And I'm like, nah, fuck that. You already fucked up. Like you're going to come to me. You know I'm a man, right? You knew I was a man when you married me, right? Like we stood in front of a priest. You knew. You going to hit me up with that shit? Get the fuck out of here. No,
Not even the classic honey, let's try it. No.
fuck that. I am offended at the thought of it. It's like the idea that somewhere out there, some woman would think, I'm gonna ask my husband how he'd feel about me bending him over and effing him like a bitch. We'll see how he feels about that. Well, I can tell you how I feel about it right now.
You wouldn't feel nothing, huh?
No.
I'd be
And
so disappointed. I think that'd be me personally. I'd be like, babe, number one, you're kidding. You have to be kidding. Or if this is something you actually thought about, I'm very kind of disappointed.
right. I guess I will take it back and say, okay, would I divorce her immediately? No. Would I yell at her? A lot. Would I let her know how disappointed I am? Damn right. I'd be like, seriously, this is who you think I am? Like, have I done something that led you to believe that this would be a thing?
It's like I'd tell her, be like, I'm not nailing you and then nailing one of your friends, so I'm not treating you like a bitch. You know what I mean?
Well, first off, I'm not doing that to her. So what makes her think she's going to do that shit to me?
That would be my position. What I'd have to say is like, I've never had a girlfriend do that to me ever. Now, well, I mean, booty stuff, is one thing, but just the straight up strap on is like,
No, I'm
never
saying I
encountered that.
wouldn't do that to her. So why in the absolute fuck would she think that that's something she'd do to me?
Maybe she listened to too much Poe, too much Tori Amos.
That's exactly my issue with them. Now you got it.
You start
And
smelling
as
patchouli.
Pope said about Lilith Fair, yeah, if you're dating some chick and she's all like, I'm going to buy a ticket to go see Lilith Fair, red flag. Red flag.
Oh, Coachella.
Well, I mean, that's even stupider, especially if you're not going with her because you know she's going to end up fucking some patchouli smelling piece of shit.
She's going to
But
end up a
Lilith Fair,
statistic, is what's going to happen to her. That's what always happens to them.
but Lilith Fair is even worse because if you are of a bent as I am, then you realize that it's basically a giant ceremony, celebrating a demon.
Okay, so we're talking about like Lilith Adams' supposed first wife, Lilith, as in,
Yes.
okay, all right.
There is this concert that used to happen a long time ago. I don't know if you remember.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, a bunch of lesbians would get together, and it was called the Lilith Fair.
Okay, nah, new.
And it would have the one girl that sang "In the Arms of the Angels," and
Oh,
sometimes
Sarah
it would have,
McLaughlin.
yeah, and sometimes it would have the lesbian that sang "Constant Hunger," and
Ellen, no, not Ellen DeGeneres. Fucking, what's her name?
right.
The other dyke, Bonnie something. I know there's
Whoever it
Indigo
was,
Girls. Fuck, what's her name?
she was the really dykey looking one that sang like "Come to your window."
Yeah, I can't remember her fucking name. There was Indigo Girls. Those big lesbians were all about. And fucking, what is her name? Shit. It flew right
Anyway,
out
it
of my
doesn't
head.
matter. So pretty much you get this bunch of freaking depraved lesbians and they all get together Oh, Peg's a Stilly Dan song? I don't know.
Oh, wow. We took that in. Well, it was my fault.
Because when I think Peg, in the context of what we were talking about, it goes a totally different place.
Melissa Etheridge.
However, Melissa Etheridge. My favorite Stilly Dan songs are probably My Old School, Hey 19, obviously, that's a good one. Deacon Blue, um, Do It Again, because, I mean, come on. It's got one of the best guitar solos of all time in it. Um, God, there's so many good ones, actually. It's kind of hard to name all the good ones from Stilly Dan. They're just like they're that band, that just rolls in and says, "Yeah, we're gonna put out 20 albums and we're gonna have like 60 great songs. Some of them that aren't super great, but a lot of them that are, you know." The fine Colombian make tonight a beautiful night. Right? Hear what I'm saying? He's just talking about doing some coke, drinking some tequila, having a good time, right? You want to know something funny about Stilly Dan?
What's that?
During the era that they were like doing their thing, they absolutely hated hippies.
Hmm.
They were known for their hatred of hippies because they considered themselves to be kind of like the last of the beatniks.
Oh, God.
Yeah, because they're up there in New York and they're like free love and all that. No, F that shit. I want to party. I'm not interested in these filthy bitches. I want to hang out and do some coke, get drunk, fucking whatever, right?
Cannot
So they
stand me a beat.
absolutely had nothing but disdain for hippies, which I can totally dig. I'm like, all right, I get that because I have nothing but disdain for hippies also.
I'll take hippies all week long, all year long over beatniks. I cannot stand those William S. Burroughs, Ginsburg, Kerouac fuckheads.
That is a strong opinion you have shared, my friend.
I fucking can't stand them. God, we will fight to the bloody end. Like, don't, no weapons. I'll start stripping off armor, throw my shield down. I'll be like, let's chew through each other's throats. Let's just go primal.
You know what's hilarious? You say no Kerouac, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
The name of Stilly Dan comes from a Kerouac book.
Oh, God.
There's a book where they talk about running into this older woman and they're going to sleep with her, right? And they find her sex toy. It's like a little silver, you know, thingy mabob. And its name is Stilly Dan. So they named their group after a
Yeah.
fucking dildo,
No.
a
I,
vibrator.
I can't take that stuff, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
God.
100% named the group after a vibrator from the book On the Road, I think it was.
It's like Kerouac is at least the lesser of the three evils. Like the stuff he did about the bums, the hobos, it's but fucking Ginsburg doing the whole shit about Jesus and Peter were gay together and fucking Burroughs' constant gay ambiguity.
Well, see,
Like,
Kerouac had a house in Orlando for a while. You can still go visit it. I mean, he wasn't from here, but he had a house down here. And if you read On the Road and stuff, it was mostly just him and his buddy traveling around banging chicks. Like, that was kind of all they were doing. like they would run into some older chick and end up going home with her and banging her out. And yeah, that was, that was the whole deal with On the Road or whatever it was called. I mean, there was some other like troubling things about the book, you know, but I'm not a huge.
Oh, there he went. Okay.
I'm just pointing out it's still they percent
Oh,
what I can get behind.
okay. There we
You
go.
know. Now
It,
tonight that I listened to quite a bit. Oh,
ooh, the internet's getting rough on you. Or is it mine? I think it might be mine.
I don't know. Hard to tell. That fine Bohemian or Colombian Bohemian. Listen at me. What am I thinking of? The fine Bohemian. Get into some weird stuff, some shiza stuff.
I'm good. I'm good on the weird pseudo combination of Gnostic Christianity and Hinduism,
Yeah,
peppered with just a touch of Islam.
yeah, those people, whatever. But um, yeah. So it's like I don't know. What was I even saying before? We were
I
so
don't know. We were
moved.
talking about pegging and then beatniks, and before that, life was pretty good. But
Before that, life's been pretty good to me. Right? My Maserati does 185. I lost my license and now I don't drive. Right? I've got a limo I set in the back. I lock the doors in case I'm attacked. Who was that? People say I'm crazy, but I have a good time.
you're driving me to drinking.
Am I? It's
Well,
not a
no.
far way to drive, though, is it?
uh, I hate my car.
You hate your car?
Yeah, I don't like my car.
Well,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm being attacked.
uh
Oh
oh.
no. Oh no. Oh no.
Who's attacking you?
My kitty cat.
Oh,
Hey kitty. Hey kitty.
I heard the funniest shit ever today.
Oh, ow, 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 ow.
This guy was talking about women by the time they hit a certain age, they either have a boyfriend or a number of cats that if you stood them on top of each other, they would be about the height of a boyfriend.
Well, that's basically me, man. We've always been into like animal rescue and stuff. Every one of our Pomeranians is a rescue pom.
Yeah, I don't think it counts for men.
It doesn't? Cool.
Yeah, I think it only counts for women.
Okay.
Like men can have cats. Women, cats are a problem.
Yeah.
It's a
Three
definite
kitty
problem.
cats and 5 dogs.
See, that sounds like my mom when she got older. She just started adopting everything. So like if it wandered into the yard and looked homeless, it become one of hers somehow.
It's what I grew up doing, man. It just kind of stuck with me, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, somebody has to, right?
Well, to the smallest of things, be the most kind.
Yeah, and that was my mom. Whereas we always had like barn cats and stuff growing up, but they weren't actually pets. They were just more like
They just hang around. They just kind of come with the place.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have them, and sometimes they'd have babies, and they'd live and die and spend their whole time doing barn cat shit. And
That's why I end up feeding all the possums and the coons around here, is just to keep them out of my garden.
right, and you pat them, and they're like, cool, you know.
Well, I ain't petting the coons. I'll pet the possum a couple of
Yeah.
times.
I have seen my uncle run up on a possum, grab it, and slam it onto his forearm like that, and then walk back, and the possum just sitting there hissing, but not doing anything.
Yep.
Because I don't know if the possum even knew what to fucking do at that point. It was just like,
Oh, that's their first defense, man. Use the my uncle's wildlife cams and stuff. Got possums eating something. It was like, oh, here comes this coyote, and that possum breathes that disease breath. That it's like, hey, man, I'm nasty, and but they regulate their body temperature when they go to sleep to kill everything.
yeah,
Almost like God designed them that way.
almost.
Almost, huh?
Yeah, I believe it, but it was just so weird to see him because he had zero fear of a possum. So,
Yeah, they're cool
some
critters.
people feel a way about him, but he would just run up and grab that bitch. Be
Oh,
like,
that's cool, man. I love possums.
yeah, he'd run up and grab it, be like, get over here, little bitch. And then, like, play with it, F around with it a little bit, then let it go, eventually. After he played with it for a little bit, messed with it. And I
Uh,
mean, he
I-
never would kill one. I mean, that was totally just not a that's a non-starter. You know what I mean? Killing a
yeah,
possum, like I've heard of people killing them to eat them, and I think, okay, that's kind of messed up. But if you're that hungry, okay, I got you.
I mean, you got to be
If you're that
hard up.
desperate, look, there are some people who actually enjoy possum. I don't get it, but whatever.
Well,
You
there's
know,
some people that enjoy getting pegged, so there's retards.
right, right. But I would never like do that. Eat a
No,
possum. I'm not
no,
doing.
I ain't eating a possum. I'm not eating a coon. I'm not eating a
I'm
rat.
not eating a raccoon. It's got fingers and thumbs. I don't eat shit that's got fingers and thumbs.
There's
That's
too
a rule.
many fish, you know.
Yeah, there is an awful lot of other shit you could be eating besides, a raccoon or something.
Now, I will eat a raccoon before I eat a turtle or a frog, like especially in Georgia. We are parasite and amoebic riddled.
I've never, that I know of, ate a turtle, but I used to sell the hell out of them.
That's where I draw the line. I'm starting to look at, companions I've got with me. It's like, all right, which one of you is the slow mover? Start thinking like that before I eat turtle. Because
Well, I mean, used to be able to go down when I was younger. You could go down to the dark side of town, let's say, right? And old dudes down there, they give you a pretty good chunk of change for a turtle. We're talking a leatherback turtle, right? You ever seen those leatherback soft shell turtles?
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, live in the canals and shit. So, I'd go out to canals and stuff. This is when I was down here later in life, and I'd look around, and if I saw one, plink him with a 22 and then wade in and get him, which is pretty stupid when you consider what could be in that canal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could have waded right into a freaking water moccasin,
Not
big
only
gator,
cottonmouth, big gator, big gar, big catfish.
big anything in there, right? But, when you're a teenager, especially a late teen, and you're going through puberty, so your brain stops working right.
Mm,
And you want a little bit of money, so you just get yourself a couple turtles and roll on down there. And they'll give you, 10, $15 per turtle, depending on how big they are. And now you've got, it's 1987 and you've got, 25, $30 on you.
Hey,
And that's time to, go to the movies, take your girl out in your
that shit.
beat up 1980 whatever it was. I don't even remember Monte Carlo. Yeah, I had a two-door Monte Carlo with like a 305 in it.
Hey, that'll get you some tail these days.
I mean, it was a pretty cool car actually, you know.
Mm. I had a 1972 Plymouth Duster.
Oh, nice.
Yep. That was a Plymouth nut job when I was a teenager and younger.
Oh, the Dusters were cool though. They were
I
almost like a Nova, but not.
Yep. I had a I had a Duster first. Well, first I had a Valiant, and then I had a Plymouth Duster, and then I had two Birds, and then a Roadrunner, and then a minivan, and I loved the minivan. I had a
I
bright
had
red
a
minivan.
Voyager, and that thing was the shit.
Though they are awesome.
Let me tell you, no matter what I was doing in that Voyager, I never got pulled over.
Nope.
I think I could have been out murdering people. The cops just ignore it. They're
Plus
just like,
those seats slide all the way down flat, and you got your dragon shaggin' wagon going on it. Oh, loved my van.
yeah. And the very, very back of my van, I'd had my uncle put in a fucking badass speaker box.
Oh no. Oh
So
no.
when I rode around, dude, I could fucking rattle windows with that bitch. It was crazy too because I was I guess about my late 30s when I had that, or late 20s. My kids were born, yeah, late 20s. I hadn't divorced the whore yet, and I would ride around and just fucking, I would play like Depeche Mode,
Oh
but
god.
then crank the freaking bass up. And when you play a song like Stripped or something like that with the bass way up, and people are just like, what the, you know, come with me into the trees, right? Let me see you stripped. Uh, Another band that had amazing bass to fuck around with was the Smiths.
The Smiths are very versatile. They were. They could kind of go in a couple of different directions, and I don't think that was specifically Morrissey's doing at the time.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure who was doing their thing, but what I am saying though is like if you had a big speaker box, which everyone did back then, and it was kind of a competition when you'd be out, you'd have the other assholes riding around trying to jam out with their speaker boxes, and like 99% of the time it'd be rap. And then you roll up next to them and you put on like fucking some girls are bigger than others or some shit like that. And that bass line is just freaking bong bong, bong, like that. And they're just like looking at you like, what in the fuck is this guy doing? And then of course once Nine Inch Nails got big, it was like forget about it. You roll up on some dude and he's got his car all set up and he's doing his bass with this freaking whatever hip hop he's doing, and all of a sudden you throw Closer in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it starts out with that boom, boom. It's like,
If it had to be Nine Inch Nails, I was more of a Down in It guy.
yeah, I'm a huge fan of Every Day is Exactly the Same. What is that? I'm a fan of his sci-fi album. What is it? The Station, where he's talking about waiting at the station to take a spaceship somewhere.
Uh,
But and Every Day is Exactly the Same. I love that song. Just the whole how it starts out and everything, and the whole if I'm quiet, maybe they'll leave me alone and all that. I'm writing a letter and I'm gonna hide it someplace they'll never find and all. It's just like, yeah, that's kind of cool, kind of badass, you know. Trent Reznor getting a little bit away from some of his older screamo shit and actually doing some, music. But, but all that said, Tyler, let me guarantee you, if you're out
okay.
and you're trying to have a little battle royale with the rap guys, and they've got their stupid whatever they got on the base, and they're staring at you and they're trying to base you out, throw closer on, it fucking is over.
No, I ain't throwing closer on. Uh-uh.
Well, I
I got
mean,
I got too many 1980s like breakbeat stuff I'll put on there just to make their heads explode.
hey, you do what you need to do. I'm just telling you, when that beat hits, it's like, yeah, get the fuck out of here, homie.
And I can't imagine a scenario when any guy in or at least around in my patch would try to outbase me. Typically it's just like I probably knew him from somewhere or they heard
Well,
me talking about something one time.
you know who the worst were for that shit? You pull up at the stop sign and there's like a 4x4 F-150 jacked to the fucking moon with speaker boxes behind the seats.
Oh, I love those guys. I love them. I mean,
Just going nuts.
I love them to death. I do because those guys will drop everything just because they like working on cars to help you with your car. Just
Yeah.
because they want to screw around with a car.
Yep. And they'll be busting the bass out. And it's like, so you're sitting here looking at this guy that you know is a fucking redneck. And he's freaking just got that bass and that treble just fucking killing it, right? And they used to do that. We had this little mom and pop grocery store in town. And like every Friday night, because it's a small town Friday night, not Saturday, Friday, unlike the song, right?
Yeah.
And every freaking Friday night, they would all be parked in the parking lot of this little mom and pop grocery with their jacked up trucks trying to outbase each other,
Ugh.
you know? And then I pull up with my little fucking Dodge Voyager minivan, start fucking throw on some fucking 9 Inch Nails or some shit like that, and, just blow them out and
You
be
tell.
like, it was just fun, It wasn't even hard feelings, It was just like roll in and just fucking blow them out and roll out. I
Talk
mean,
about it.
it was like everyone who did that kind of knew everyone who did that because we all kind of went to the same places to buy the same shit from the same people. You get what I'm saying?
And it was them what I is how I learned. Got invited to one of their parties, just like exactly how you've explained it. Got invited to one of their parties one time and learned what a bro beer was, and I witnessed some horror. Have you ever heard that term before, James? Bro
Well,
beer.
no, I have not.
If you are too drunk and you get a little loose lipped and you say some shit to your buddy that you shouldn't have said. You kind of went for the throat on him a little bit, and if you're doing the sorry, man, I didn't mean it, well, you have to drink a bro beer. I had no idea what this was. It is where you take a metal pan like those big ones they put like large dog kibble in.
Right.
The guy gets ass fuck naked and stands in it, and they pour a beer over his head and he bathes in it. They take that beer and pour it into a glass, and the dude chugs it. There were things floating in it, James. There were things floating.
See, that sounds a little homoerotic to me, so I don't think I want any part of that. One
I
thing
was
I
a
can
fly
say,
on the wall.
one thing I can say, at least in Florida, is redneck chicks were like the sluttiest chicks of all the
Yeah,
chicks.
and I could never get them
It was like
because I
if
didn't have
you
a
went to
truck
the
and I didn't wear
redneck
boots.
party, man, any chick that showed up, she was DTF from the get go. You get 2 beers in her, and she's fucking you and all your friends in the back of the truck.
Never got them. Never, not once, not ever. Tried like hell.
Well, apologies to you, sir,
I never got there, man. Never
because
got.
when
See,
when, when I hit
every,
about 18, I got this big yellow full size Chevy with
yeah,
the
that's what did
350 in the
it.
roll bar,
That's what
and it
did
had a
it.
fucking cow killer grill and the whole shit. You know what I'm saying? And that thing sounded like a storm whenever I hit the gas pedal on it. It sounded like the world was going to end. And oh yeah, I'd go to their little parties out by the canal or out in the bush, wherever they'd be.
If trucks are parked at the lake, leave them alone.
And that was it, man. And you'd pick these
uh,
chicks up, and it's like
Never got them. Not once.
you'd see these chicks on Sunday, they're all dressed up in their best heading to the Baptist church, but on Friday night, they're getting railed out in the back of a truck. It's just like, well, okay.
I mean, bro, and I tried fucking everything too. I just tried showing them my magic cards, my fucking coil on vinyl collection, my throbbing gristle vinyl collection, ate a banana in front of them. Nothing ever worked.
Dude,
I
I
never
don't even
got
know.
them.
It's like you say all that, and I'm just like, I know you're joking, but there's a part of me that just feels sad.
Well, there's a part of me that was more or less what I had rocking, man.
Look, when you walk up to a redneck girl, do not ask her if she wants to hear about your ninth level paladin. That's just good advice, okay?
You got to use what you got, man.
Yeah, you walk up and you're just like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And then you talk about your truck and how badass it is, and that's pretty much it. I mean, that's pretty much guaranteed in, you know. You talk about your truck and how badass it is, and if she's got questions about what you've been doing all week or something, you tell her about your job and whatever, and then boom, things happen because I mean they're
Nope.
there for the same reason you are, right? It's weird. It's like I guess you could say the ultimate in feminism because the only reason they showed up is they want to get wallered out, you know.
Never got one, not damn once. And I tried like hell too.
But you did get a goth chick.
Huh?
But you did get a goth girl.
Multiple.
See, that is so weird because at least in Florida, hooking up with a redneck chick was like super easy. Like it was easier than hooking up with any goth chick.
Nah, it was exactly the opposite. Because I mean, the goth chick was down to be like, "Hey, I've got Coil on vinyl, Throbbing Gristle on vinyl. Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's awesome. That's kick ass. I like your shirt. Easy." Redneck girls just nah.
No,
I'd get called. I'd get called sweetie a lot, but they're just being friendly.
right. You didn't have a truck. You
Didn't have a
probably
truck. Didn't spit that fire.
you weren't big enough. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you just didn't.
It's like, girl, you're up on this guy and he looks like a fucking goat. I'm over here, handsome, high cheekbones, long, silky black hair. What's wrong with me? No.
Yeah, the thing is beauty standards, right?
Yeah.
And beauty standards are messed up, right? Because it's like, I'm sure you're probably a handsome man,
I once was. I once was.
but like if you don't look like the kind of guy that can throw a shit ton of hay all day
Definitely not.
and ride a horse and then come home and just bang a chick until she wants to pee herself,
Oh, but
then you're
see, it was a weird crossover for me because I grew up fishing, grew up bass fishing competitively. And so there's always this crossover I'd see, at some of the bass tournaments. I'd see these girls and I'd be like, holy shit. I know I'm not going to get her, but
I have a buddy and he's always posting pictures. Like I went to school with this kid. He's actually older than me. And he's always posting pictures of him, his wife, and I don't know who the third person is, maybe his daughter. And they're always out fishing.
ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right. Except his wife is never wearing anything but a string bikini.
Oh, God.
Now, granted, she's like 50 something years old now, but she's still kind of, for a 50 something year old woman, kind of smoking hot. And he's like, yep, he'll post some shit like the Florida heat's an awful lot hotter when you're fishing with these two. And it'll be like these two women. And I'm just sitting here like, what is going on here? Right. Like what exactly what in the I mean, dude, I know this guy. We used to play D&D in the freaking lunchroom because that was our thing during lunch. We would like snatch up a table and play D&D for 45 minutes or whatever. So it was like that dude's as big a nerd as I am, and he's out here with these two chicks. You know what the main thing that kind of drops in my mind is?
Hmm.
Main thing that drops in my mind is one of these women, at least one of them, right, is his wife. And he's constantly taking pictures of her wearing next to nothing, showing her shit off. And
So
there is a part of me that's like,
the other one, a special friend?
I don't know. She's a bit younger, maybe a special friend. I hope
Mm,
it's not his daughter because if he's taking pictures of his daughter being like, look at this hot ass, whatever, I'm going to be like, look.
yeah.
I'm going to be like, look, come on, bro. You know,
Getting a little esoteric there.
like, that's not cool. You can't be doing that, right? But it's like, yeah, this is like every time I go on Facebook, I get a picture of her freaking, oh, what's the new word we're supposed to use? We're not supposed to call it beef flaps anymore. Her butterfly wings hanging out and shit.
Her labia minora.
Yeah, but that's like, that's using like, science words. I was trying to,
Isn't it Latin? I think it might be Latin.
well, science words,
Oh, yeah.
you know, and I was trying to be a little bit nicer about it.
Labia
But yeah,
minora,
you're
majora,
100% right. You're 100% right.
mons pubis, and troidum. Uh,
Hey, you know how you stop a woman from bleeding after she gives birth?
yeah,
You massage the fundus.
the fundus.
And the fundus is the mound above the vagina.
I tell you what, the Romans just had to name everything, didn't they?
Well, I mean, when you run an empire that lasts for like, 1,000 years plus, yeah, I suppose that was kind
Gotta
of a
find.
benefit. You got to name a bunch of shit. I remember that question from my paramedic thing though, because so many people miss that question. But the fundus, which is like the pubic mound just above it, if you rub that for some reason, it causes the blood vessels inside of a woman's vagina to like
Kind of
contract.
constrict, you know?
Yeah.
Huh.
So it will actually help her not bleed out.
That sounds like some of the acupressure, like midwifery back from old Europe.
Hey, I'll kid you not. This was on the test. What, you're at the beach and your friend gets stung by a fucking man o' war. What do you do?
Pee on them.
Yep, that is the correct
Yeah.
answer. You pee on them because the ammonia in your urine will fucking help stop them from, you know, the pain of the poison from the
God, I
poison.
saw one time at off of St. George's Island in Florida. I saw one, and I couldn't believe it. And I was like, "How do they?" I was like, "They don't range this far, do they?" It was like, "Yes, the hell they do." Like this guy was telling me, he's like, "Dude, they're around." I was like, "Oh God,
Are you talking about man o' wars?
yeah."
We have seasons, man, where you go to the beach and there's nothing but.
I had never seen one. I'd been in Florida so much, between Panacea and Tallahassee, and then off St. George's Island that time. I saw one. It was just kind of floating by, and I was like, "What the hell?"
Dude, man, if you go to the East Coast during certain parts of the year, them motherfuckers will be stacked up on the beach
Yeah.
because they wash up and then they're just sitting there on the beach. But the problem is, you're running around on the beach being a knucklehead, as you do, right?
Mm.
And you step on the freaking trellis, freaking stingers that they're dragging around, and now you've got your feet are all lit up,
Yeah, it was oyster beds that always got me.
and then you know, usually you run to the shower and try and wash it off. Not that it helps, but you know, it's better than nothing.
I'd never been stung by one, but I had a fucking catfish fin me right in the palm of my hand one time.
Oh,
Thought I was
dude,
gonna die.
that is the worst.
God. And all my
And
buddies trying to like help me, and I'm just like, no, I'm dying. I'm dying. It's hard to breathe. God, that hurt.
it's weird because it's like, yeah, I don't even know if they have a venom or if it's just the fucking
It's like a slime they're coated with,
the fucking mucusy
Yeah.
bullshit. What the fuck is going on with that? But
God, that hurts though.
imagine all the germs on that shit too.
Yep. That hurt through my hand. I mean, eventually my hand went numb, and then the pain went up through my elbow, shoulder, neck. Oh
Yeah,
God, it
there's
was so bad.
nothing good about that. That is just not a good thing.
I had to go lay down.
See, good thing about like when you're noodling for a big catfish, because they live in those rocks, a lot of times they wear the points off of their own fins. So that's a good thing. The bad thing though is that, you know, as I've told you a couple of times, if you go underwater to try and get one out and it's big enough, it'll just hold you underwater.
Man, I ain't getting in the water to do it. That's a hell no.
Yeah, see, that is the biggest rule in Kentucky about noodling is under no circumstances do you ever put your head under the water because
Mm.
there's no guarantee you will come back up. Because you figure we've got catfish. I mean, I'm not even talking about giant catfish. I'm talking about, maybe a 4 foot catfish. Might weigh close to 100 pounds, right?
Yeah.
If that guy is good and dug in, you know what I mean? Into a cave, let's say, underwater between a bunch of rocks or some shit, and it decides that F you, it ain't coming out, well, it ain't coming out. And that means you're staying down there with it.
Yeah, I ain't bothering the thing either.
And the problem with that is it can stay down there a lot longer than you can.
Mm-mm.
Being that it actually breathes the water and you don't. So you are getting ready to be past tense, at which point it may or may not let you go, and you may or may not float back to the top, or you may sink to the bottom and get ate. By all the shit down there that does nothing all day but wait for stuff to come down so it can eat it.
I can think of more interesting, more fun ways to check out.
I don't know. You get up to St. Peter and he's like, "Hey, Tyler,
Oh, you know my name. Thank God.
long time no see, brother. What
Wait,
what you been
what?
up to?"
Wait, what now?
He said, "Long time no see, brother," because he ain't seen you since you was born.
Oh, fair enough.
Right?
It's been like, am I taking the stairs or the elevator, man? There was a couple of times where I knew it was wrong and I did it anyway.
Yeah. Well, did you repent?
Well, it's one of those things of I knew it was wrong and I hate myself for not regretting it because
Yeah.
I
Well,
had fun doing it.
you still probably better look into some repentance. But still, I'm not your priest, so do what you want.
Everybody's got those things of like, I should feel bad about that, but I don't. I don't because it felt good to do, especially when you
Uh,
pissed off.
yeah. He's all like, "Man, been waiting on you,"
Yeah.
and he's like, "So, catfish, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. How about that?
How about that?"
For all the grandiosity of times I should have gone,
See, the thing
catfish.
is, he would laugh and he'd just point you to the other guys that all were there for the same shit. Be like, "Well, your crew's right over there. Those
Oh,
guys that all got that stupid look on their face. That's
it's
gonna be
like
your guys."
we just had to go in the water, didn't we, fellas? We just
Yeah,
had to do it.
they'll all just be sitting there looking stupid.
Yeah,
Be
it ain't
like,
gonna be me.
they'll be like, I just thought if I went down really quick and grabbed him, I could just snatch him right out of there.
Yeah, that ain't gonna be me messing with a catfish or messing with a snake. Hell no.
That's what they'll be doing. They'll be like,
Mm-mm.
all I needed was another second or so. I would have had him out. Of course, St. Peter would just be looking at the guy talking that shit like he's a retard. Be like, yeah, keep telling yourself that, buddy. That 150-pound catfish was not coming out. You know what I'm saying? You were
Is
doing what you were doing, and it was just being like, yeah, okay, pal.
there's certain aspects of human endeavor that just shouldn't be.
Right. Like, you literally dove to where you were 7 feet under the water, stuck your hand in a cave in the mouth of a catfish that was bigger than you, and thought you're going to pull it out.
Nah.
It's like, look at the math on that.
I
You have
mean,
to exert force to try to pull a 200-pound catfish out of its lair. It just has to sit there. I mean, so you know who's going to win that.
yeah, I mean, you went in its house too. I mean, there's that. Who was trespassing?
Now there are rumors of such gigantic catfish in the Cumberland. I don't know if I believe them because I ain't ever seen one. But every now and then you'll hear divers talk about 7, 8 foot catfish in there. I'd have to see it before I'd be like, damn, okay.
I mean, you can
But
Jeremy Wade that shit, sit out there and try to pull a monster up.
yeah, get a heart attack.
Yeah.
That's what kind of messed him up. That dude's out there trying to pull a monster up and got a heart attack.
Oh, that era was an Arapaima that tried to jump out of the net and slammed right into his chest.
Well, are the arapaimas the European catfish that actually go out of their way to eat people?
I'm not sure. It was just a big fish. When I saw it, look it up.
Oh no, that's the South American Yeah, really big fish. People keep them as pets for some reason. I know, like, there's a kind of catfish that lives in Europe that like actively will eat you.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Got that Bosnian bridge jumper. The competitions of jumping off the bridges into the water.
Yeah, you hit the water and then it's like boom.
Yeah, it was very smooth too. You didn't see any fish swirl or anything. It just loop, he went under, and you never saw him again.
Yeah, there's some shit out there I don't think you want to mess with.
I mean, we were talking about the Romans. The Romans wrote plenty of shit down about weird crap that was swimming around their canals.
Yep, they sure did. And a big rule was yeah, don't go jumping into a fucking lake with big fish in it because
Would the Romans have done it?
oh, I don't know. Would
I mean,
Romans have jumped
ex-
off the fucking bridge at this thing? Hell no.
explain to these Iron Age people who just have to be all sensibility in order to survive. Just like, why don't you go in the water and let the fish bite your hand and drag it out? They're like, are you fucking stupid? It's, like, it's a
So
great
that's
way to
what
die.
you bring up a good point. It's like before you do something, ask yourself, would the Romans have did this? And if the answer is no, maybe you shouldn't do it either. Because maybe whatever you're thinking about doing is just not a good idea.
I mean, they didn't get. I mean, they had games and sport and stuff like every other culture, but you didn't really see too much crazy hokey shit come out of them.
No, they were definitely not out there, trying to noodle up 400-pound angry ass catfish or whatever. They're just kind of doing their thing. So I think we can all take their example as like a good example. Like,
They were like, it'd be more efficient to use a net or use a spear or a line and hook or
or literally anything but your hand. But see, I'm talking all this shit, but that's just my southern brothers and sisters. They got to be out there doing stupid shit.
I mean, I did stupid shit too. We all did, but I'm not getting in the water where bacteria is. I know better. And I'm
Yeah.
not letting a fish bite me.
Well, the best is when you see there's this one hot chick that does a lot of noodling,
Yeah.
and people watch her because she's hot. And it's like, so she's waiting around in this effed up water that is probably full of like amoebas and crocodiles and every other
God.
kind of fucking horrible thing. And she's pulling these catfish out, and you're just like, you watch it, and you can't help but wonder because it's a matter of time. It is only a matter of time to where, as she's walking through those freaking lily pads looking for her catfish, something is going to fucking get her.
I wonder if half that shit is staged sometimes.
I hope so.
Because I mean, like I said, if she's got the brass to actually get out there and do it, okay, you're crazy. But whatever. But no,
Respect, but yeah, you're a crazy bitch.
no,
Well, she's a good old girl from like Oklahoma or Arkansas or some shit.
I'll watch from the bank. Thanks. Good luck. I'm cheer
And
squad.
yeah, she's always wading around through the fucking muck, hunting up those freaking fish so she can pull them out. And
Mm,
and it's just like, this is not a good idea.
no.
Like, good idea, bad idea. This is the bad idea, you know. But she looks good in bikini, so
I think that might be the point right there. Is
her YouTube channel is pretty good. I've been watching this goth dude, right? What's his
mm,
fucking name? Monroe or something like that.
mm.
Something Monroe. And his latest stuff has been going on to like uh Tinder and just roasting the shit out of goth chicks on Tinder.
Well,
And it's pretty funny, because
yeah.
he's
They it goes back to
and they
the
hate him is the thing. They absolutely hate him because they don't think he's goth. So he's always going after them about what goth even is.
I mean, it
But
might be a parody. Is it like a parody channel?
um oh god. I'll link him to you
Okay.
because he does talk about some serious shit. Like that one dude that got stabbed by the Sikh person that they're trying to cover up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went hard on that shit. Let me tell you, he is going full on. But one of the things he does, like I said, though, is just like make fun of the goth. The new thing where you got like the goth chicks and they run up and they do stupid shit and they like steal your McDonald's or whatever the fuck they do, right?
Yeah, that started from the internet news.
Right. Well,
Actually
he
came out
he
of the
comments on
speech
that
community.
quite a bit, and it's pretty hilarious, right? And he's done up like a goth dude. He's got like the dead white makeup on and the fucking, all that shit.
Over exaggerated. The
Oh, he looks like a corpse. Like
yeah.
when he's sitting there, he looks like a corpse. But he admits he does it because he's been doing it since he's 17 and now he's like 30 and he's just going to keep doing it. But I guess the big argument in the goth scene today, which is weird because when I was in the goth scene back in the 90s, early 90s, um, you knew someone was goth based on the music they listened to. It wasn't really about how they dressed so much, even though that was kind of a part of it, but it wasn't the part of it. It was
They had the daywalkers, the beauties, the rose doves. They had all like the different names of like the normie blonde girl who is just really into Bauhaus. Like she just, I mean, she parties with
exactly.
everybody, but
You see, you nailed it. It was like that. It was like you had the one chicks that always dyed their hair black, number one, to the point that Typo Negative even made kind of a spoofy song about it.
yeah, had to call him out a little bit.
And then you had like the really weird occasional chick who dyed her hair like platinum blonde. So you would have a bunch of chicks with black number one hair, and then you have the one chick show up wearing all white with platinum blonde hair, but still with the makeup. And then you would have a couple of chicks out of the bunch that showed up with that almost like Merlot wine red hair.
Yeah, or that really weird spidery white purple
Right.
that just looked like artificial graying.
Except, yeah, but most of them would be black number one and they'd be doing their thing, whatever. But it didn't really matter what they were dressed like so much. It was the fact that you were all in the club listening to what we thought of as goth music.
It's what it used to be.
And now apparently it's not, well, according to this guy, it's not so simple anymore because, people are arguing about what exactly is goth music. And I'm sitting here thinking, well, Depeche Mode, the Smiths, freaking Sisters of Mercy, Joy Division,
Alien sex fiend.
Alien Sex Fiend, like there's tons, The Cure.
Of course.
I mean,
I have Uncle Rob.
Echo and the Bunnymen.
Ooh, always fun.
And it's like, but the new goths, I guess, have like different rules,
Well, now it's a political movement, didn't you know?
which is terrible because the last thing old school goth had any give a shit about was politics.
Exactly.
It was like, fuck politics. The whole idea of the goth movement is we were counterculture to everything. You know, we were doing our own shit. We didn't care about left, right, none of that. We were going to hang out. We were going to dance at the club. Some people would smoke clove cigarettes. You know, we would watch stupid movies, listen to our stupid songs, and just do our thing. And he mentions that. It's funny that you mention it. He mentions how the goth scene's gotten politicized. And it's like,
Yep.
well, then they're missing the whole point. I mean, and he argues that you cannot be punk, post punk, or goth and be a leftist.
Well,
That's
they
his
say the
argument.
opposite. They say the exact opposite now. And really, it's just rooted in a bunch of English, British, what have you. I mean, there was a kind of a mishmash of English and Scottish all through with there,
He
like
blames women.
Elizabeth Fraser from Cocktail Twins and all that. But anyway, Australian too. Don't forget about Nick Cave.
Yeah, this guy, he blames women. He says that the women are the one that want to politicize shit, and that so many modern goth men are basically bitches, so they let them. Yeah, because I remember back in the day, like if I was at the club and I was talking to some chick and I didn't like what she was throwing down, I'd tell her to fuck herself and move on, you know? Like, because I was way more in demand than they were, you know? Like a relatively masculine, high testosterone male in good shape in the goth club, I was like the prize, you know? But I guess it's different now, yeah, right?
It's everything's politicized, man. They politicized gaming. They politicized I mean, who the hell thought would see the day where politics just brazenly injected into Dungeons and Dragons?
That's why I like Hyperborea. No politics. The politics is not dying.
I mean, just that entire culture of it wasn't even as underground as people thought. People were aware of games.
Yeah,
It's
people
just
knew the goth scene was a thing. It's not like we were creeping around crypts and shit. No, I
well, I
did have
mean,
sex with a goth
you
chick
know,
in the
yeah,
graveyard. Probably a sin.
desecration got a few to answer for. Not
Yeah.
vandalism, but
Oh no, I didn't vandalize anything, but she did
no,
bend
but
over a gravestone.
there was a couple of sneak out at night, go meet, and probably, yeah.
Right. Because, some of them were into that kind of weird shit.
I
It's
mean,
always
it wasn't like
shit.
ritualistic. It was just the quiet place to meet up where,
I
cops
don't know. For
very
the woman
rarely
I was
came.
with, I think there was maybe more to it. The 91 goth chick was damaged as shit. Most of it. I mean, it is what it is. And I don't even mean to be mean about it to them.
I mean, no, like you said, it is what it is.
It just is what it is. They were pretty damaged. They were the kind of girls who wish vampires were real so they could be one and wanted to get railed in a graveyard. It's like, okay, whatever. These new goth chicks, I don't even know what their deal is. But I do know what we called them back in the day, like 10 years ago or so, when I was still kind of affiliated. We called them kindergoths.
Yeah, they have the Kinder, the Baby Bats, the Whimsies. And the
Yeah,
Whimsies are nothing but just shoegaze rebranded.
which is crazy because it's like basically we were being like the grognardy gatekeepers of the goth scene,
Even though we were third wave, technically.
Oh yeah, by the 90s, I mean, goth hit in the 70s, man, and it went through. It really peaked in like the mid to late 80s is when it was like fucking full blown, and then the 90s it started kind of sliding off, and then Like, see, I've got two daughters, so I got to live through the emo bullshit.
Hey, tried to get them to.
And I was all like so confused because I was like, okay, you're an emo girl or a scene girl or whatever you say you are. And they'd be like, yeah. And I'd be like, well, what is that? And I never got a good answer.
It is a combination of, see, everything begat from Joy Division, and it split three ways. After Ian Curtis had his bad day, we'll
Right.
just say that he had
Yeah.
a bad day.
Very bad day.
New Order was formed in the shadow,
Yep.
or from the ashes rather, in the shadow of old Joy Division. But there was also the Joy Division sound that went into post punk, which became goth, and also went another way, which begat shoegaze, Cocktail Twins, My Bloody
Can't
Valentine,
really say
Smashing
that
Pumpkins.
Blue Monday is like super gothy.
It is, but it's also more new wavy, which
It's
went
yeah,
into,
it's almost like dance music, you know. It's like dun dun dun
yeah.
dun 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 dun
And
dun.
then you had Cold Wave, which had its several crossovers. Cold Wave is awesome. But
I
the
feel it.
whole emo scene thing was just kind of a rebranding of shoegaze post punk,
Yeah, because I'm sitting here
just with
and
new
I'm dealing with these
elements.
daughters, and I'm like trying to figure out how they're not goth. You know, it's like you're listening to a lot of music that sounds awful goth, and you're wearing black lipsticks, but you're wearing concert shirts. It's like I'm not 100% sure what it was,
Yeah,
but in my
the actual,
mind, because I'm old school, if you listen to goth music, you were goth.
yeah, there was a
There wasn't like
website
a lot of the bullshit. It's like, oh, you get down with Joy Division, cool.
that did the whole lineage of everything. It was a website was called yourscenesucks.com
Uh,
that just had this huge category like chart of where everything came from. I mean,
mm.
it essentially was, just a rebranding, like, but it had so many weird elements that they added to it.
See, the band I never quite understood that my daughter liked was the Hollywood Undead.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, what is this? And they're like, oh, it's scene music.
That's where they started fusing glam into it.
And I was like, scene music? It's a
Yep.
bunch of dudes wearing masks. And forgive me if I'm mistaken, but didn't that one dude just talk about fucking that other dude's mom?
Yeah, and they were really bad about jail baiting, like super bad.
Yeah. And I'm like,
It was scandal after scandal.
yeah, I was like, okay.
I mean, we're not talking about like outright cheese pizza. We're not talking about that, but jailbait.
Right, right. They like their 16 and 17-year olds.
13 and 14, like,
Uh,
just, they
13.
didn't ask questions. They didn't, these guys did not ask questions.
Look, if it's 13-year-old girl, somebody's fucked. If it's
It
17,
was
depends what she
rough.
looks like. I might be a little bit more likely
They were
to
bad.
cut you a break, you know? Like if you're a 20-year-old dude and you bang a 16 or 17-year-old girl, but when you look at her, she looks 20, then I might be like, okay, hold on, right? Before we start damning people for all time, let's look into this shit. You know, maybe ask
And
the chick, hey, what's your past like? Like if she's got 50 body count, it's like, really? You're a 17
it's
year old girl with 50 body count. I'm not throwing some dude into prison because you
that
get out.
that was pretty common for scene kids back then, dude. Like,
Right.
you remember, they were kind of rotten.
Jeez. Well, I hope my daughters weren't that way. I mean, I did
I'm
my
sure they
best.
weren't. I'm sure they weren't. You just
Oh,
sniffed that
you
out pretty quick.
don't say that you're sure they weren't because they could have been. I just
Yeah.
hope they weren't. I mean, you know, I hope they weren't. Maybe they were. But yeah,
That
that
was a
I remember the first time I heard that song too, like Never Going Down or whatever the hell it was called, and it sounded like circus music. I'm sitting
they
there and
got they
my
did get
daughter's
a
like,
little
check this
weird
shit out. And it's like,
experimental.
yeah, it's like Hollywood is never going down. And then it'd be like dun 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 dun. Dun. And I'm like, is this like carnival music? What am I listening to here?
It was a
Right?
strange time.
And then all of a sudden they just bust out about getting drunk and banging each other's moms and the guy wasn't even sorry about it. Like the one guy's like, hey dude, that's my mom. And the other chick's like, I don't care, that pussy was bomb. And it's like, wow. I'm sitting here thinking, you hang out with these guys,
They were dirty too. God, they were dirty.
right?
Sharing it was the three things that I constantly railed on them about when I was young. Number one was how the women who all the girls who constantly wore ballet flats, those ballet flat style shoes were constantly comparing toe cleavage to each other. And like the longer and bigger your toe cleavage was in those shoes, the cooler you were. I thought that was very strange.
That is really weird.
Number two was how
Sounds like somebody with a
wantonly,
foot fetish.
yeah, it was just like a fashion thing. It was like guys were into these girls wearing ballet flats, and if they had toe cleavage, that was hot.
Wow.
If their toes were peeking back from the toe end of the shoe, that was cute. That was hot. And I was like, that is a strange element. Number two was how wantonly they fucked each other constantly. I mean, just unprotected sex, just nary a care. And the third and worst was they would share piercing needles.
I wonder
That
how many of the Hollywood undead dudes are like got like hepatitis.
dude,
Are
they
they?
would literally keep an Altoids tin with like a drizzle of alcohol in it that had piercing needles and jewelry in it. And if some girl wanted something pierced, they would just grab an alcoholic needle. And I witnessed one of them blow the end of it to blow the skin plug out. And then she soaked it in alcohol and put it back in there.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I think I'm
14
done.
gauge.
I think I've had enough of this shit.
Yes. It was, they did this all the time.
Mm,
And it's like, I understand, even back then at my age, I was like, I understand youth is going to be youth. We do stupid shit, but y'all, there's blood. There's that thing was bloody. And
I'm like, I'm like Prince when they made fun of him on the basketball court. I'm just like,
uh-uh, no.
no. I'll catch you later, homie.
All right, man.